And how old is the population? Maybe is there any record that when people came to this island 100,000 years ago, 2000, or any historical perspective?
I'm not so sure, but you know, in Kiribati, just like the other Pacific islands, we have stories about the beginning of the world, and we all
Okay,
believe that the beginnings of the world have begun in different islands. So yeah, it's a
okay.
myth.
So
Yeah,
so people think that they are from the very beginning. Men and women, the population is there from the very, very beginning.
yeah,
Great.
yeah.
So what is the main economy there? Agriculture, fishing, or anything else?
Yeah, well, we depend mostly on the ocean, like for our economy and just for our own needs as well.
Okay,
And yeah,
wonderful. So thanks a lot. So we have a lot of friends. Darish, thank you very much for joining. Mimi will be helping us. Tala is there, mashallah. So whole team of IBA CED. And I really appreciate all of you. And hopefully we will be, um, I will be requesting, Zarish, is there any announcement?
No, sir, no announcement now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will be, what we will be doing today, we'll be doing a very interesting case. We will be taking you to Sweden. So we'll be taking you to Sweden and we'll be spending like 1 hour there. And we will try to understand a very interesting thing which is happening there. And in the meanwhile, I will request was, so we have new friends, which I never saw yesterday. So if I can quickly ask them, and generally, anybody who comes into the course, he has a code name like cluster 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will appreciate my team if they can. So my friend, great I think, sorry, Christopher Onukogu. Can you please introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Great Christopher. I'm from Nigeria. I'm studying
Okay,
Stanford International University, Thailand, Bangkok.
great, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome. I
Thank you.
once visited Lagos 4 or 5 years ago. You know, Lagos is the
Yeah,
capital. It's
hmm
not the capital, the biggest city.
yeah, but I'm
So
staying in Thailand.
in the island.
Thailand, Thailand.
Uh, yeah, you're right, but you belong to Nigeria. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So there's the business school called Lagos Business School, and I spent like 3 4 days there. Very good
Okay.
country. Very, it was very green. I flew from Dubai. It was a long flight. So welcome, Christoph, and I hope you enjoy the learning with us. And you know something about Pakistan. Pakistan is in South Asia, and we
Yeah.
will, I think we will be having a 1 hour documentary today or tomorrow, and our team will be sharing from virtual sightseeing will take place. So I hope
Okay.
you will enjoy. Zarish will, our team member will
It's
be
on day
taking
four.
day four.
Okay.
Okay. Asghar and Azmi will be. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much. I'll be going to this interesting place, and I hope that there's a lot of lessons in this story. I, this is great. So, my dear friends, this is the gentleman whose name is Niels. Here is, okay. Okay, just a minute. Let me bring the screen up. Just a minute. So, okay. Okay. So, am I audible? Everything is clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my dear friends. So here you go. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, who is great and merciful, and we seek His blessings, and may God bless all of us. So here it is, the cold opportunity. We have like 50 minutes before we go for the next exercise. So I have to be on time. And so if you look at this story, my dear, uh, This Sweden is in Europe, in the top. You can see here, this is Germany on the bottom, and this is Sweden. This is, here you go. This is Sweden. And something very interesting about Sweden is that if you go towards the top, that is, it approaches the North Pole. North Pole, this is Norway, we have Finland, Germany is here. So Hans country is somewhere here, and Stockholm is here. So this country is, in the innovation index, this country lies almost at number one position in the whole world. Why? I don't know exactly, but when I researched, I found out that these people, they spend a lot of time in winter in their houses. They read a lot. They reflect a lot. They do a lot of puzzles and games and mathematics. This country is very technological, innovation savvy. So that's why you find a lot of innovations in that country. When I went to Stockholm, at Stockholm airport, I saw so many new gadgets and so many new innovative things being sold. And then I came to know that they're number one in innovation. So this story is about a person who was born in Sweden and who spent time in Norway and in this part, Scandinavia. So Niels was born here, and while he was born, after his birth and at his young age, at the age of like 3 to 5, he got an opportunity to travel at the very early age. And that developed a passion and love for environment. And he had a cousin who was a captain of a ship. And he was moving around in the ship in these seas and these seas. So at this age of like class 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, during vacations, he got an opportunity to travel across these oceans. And you know what would have happened while you were traveling at this age, Shifa Zubair? What would have happened actually? What exposure will you get actually? Can you please explain?
You will know more about the world
You know more
and
about the world and
can shape your dreams accordingly.
shape your dreams accordingly. Exactly. What else? You're moving around, there's a lot of ocean around you, you see people working, fishing, and you see the sun rising and the sun setting. You feel lonely sometimes, you feel you have to eat, you have to live in a small place, in the cabin, in the ship. So this is all experiences. So that's why traveling, my students, it brings a lot of qualities. That's why it's strongly recommended. And when we researched, we found out that the entrepreneurs travel a lot. When you travel a lot, you observe a lot. When you observe a lot, you question a lot. You question a lot, you find answers and yes or no. These lead to further questions. You experience a lot. Your plans change. Your plans change. And when your plans change, you get uncomfortable. And when you get uncomfortable, you have to replan. So this is a whole new process, traveling, traveling, traveling. You learn new languages, meet new people. So at this young age, he got exposure to skiing, technology. He developed interest in environment, and that laid the foundation of his future. And he started loving environment. And while he finished his high school, he went for environmental engineering. And environmental engineering, after his education, he joined a mining company in the north. He joined a mining company in Kiruna, north of Sweden, and he starts working there. Day in and day out in this company, for example, in mining, you have to go like 1,000, you have to go 200 meter, 300 meter deep inside. This is you see a tunnel A and tunnel B. Some people are working here, some people are working here. So in a way, every day he has to go in and go inside these what we call caves or tunnels, or and go there. And so things passed on. As things passed on, he started feeling that this is monotonous. This is something the same, it is boring. And he started feeling, Nazarene, that I'm a small part of a big machine. So Nazarene, if you are, this is a big car, and you see, what's wrong with my, so this is a car, and if I, so she, what happens is, he said, it seemed like I'm the wiper of this car. I'm a small part of this car, small part of the machine, which does not know the overall purpose of the machine. So it was boring. I had a number, no identity, and we used to wait for the weekends. And so I started feeling that I need to have something more in life. Life is not about working 9 to 5 and making money. There should be something more. So he said, I came up with an idea, and I developed love and passion in canoeing and rafting. And that became my passion. And out of that passion, I started giving rides to people. And what happened was, as he was putting his canoe in River Karuna, he met a person standing on the side of the river, and he said, hey, there was a conversation. And during that conversation, he offered him, hey, gentlemen, if you are free, why don't you join me? So he said, hey, that's a good idea. So this gentleman joined him, and at the end of the tour, at the end of this journey, like 3 hours of canoeing, and that gentleman he offered him a cup of coffee. He offered him a cup of coffee. Excuse me, my laptop is, excuse me. One minute, please. Just get control of. So he just for one cup of coffee, and that gave him a very interesting idea. After a cup of coffee, excuse me, one more minute. So that one cup of coffee which he had at his, something is happening to my screen. Let me just redo it. Let me come again. Yes. Great. So this one cup of coffee, this one cup of free offer of coffee gave Niels an idea. Anybody can share what the idea will be? What would be that idea? What would be that idea?
If I'm not mistaken, I heard this story from my geography lessons. I don't know exactly. It will be about the catching of fish or something, this kind of things.
Okay.
Or after that, Sweden will be specialized in this sector. If I'm not mistaken, I remember something like that.
Okay. So the idea should be related to coffee, actually. He came with an idea, hey, if I can get a free cup of coffee from a ride, why don't I find somebody who can travel with me every day? And at least I can have a free coffee. It's a bit childish idea, but so what he did was, he went to the tourist bureau, a tourist bureau in the town, and he put a three size paper, advertisement here, that anybody who wants to have a free canoeing ride with me in the River Kiruna, he can join me. So you see, he started getting telephone calls, and people started asking him, and then some people said, hey, we're ready to pay you €3 and €5 for this. And then you know what happened? Some people started telling him, hey, we'll pay you. Can you please pick me from my hotel or a room or from house? So in a way, that small hobby or passion we started turned out into a small tour guide business. And you know what happened a bit later? There was a chance meeting with one of his friend, and he was a journalist. He was a journalist and he had traveled to India. And during his visit to India, he did canoeing in River Ganges. There's a River Ganges in India. And during that tour, he did a canoeing trip, and he wrote an article. So that gentleman gave that article to Niels. This gentleman gave the article to Niels, and the article described the cost and experience, and it had an advertisement. So when Niels saw that, what did he say, Huda? Wow, I have found out a way to do it. So without doing a BBA or an MBA, he made a similar ad, and he used that ad to convince people. And he said he took his clients in his kayak. This is called a kayak for 40-kilometer rapids. I was strong with a guest. It was fun, 4 to 5 hours. His guests liked it. He made coffee money and started. So what next? He started thinking of expanding and bigger boats. So for example, he is making €1,000 from his mining job. And he has to work 9 to 5, 5 days. So he's spending like Saturday and Sunday in canoeing. What shall he do? He wants to expand his business. Can he do something? The idea comes. So the next idea is how to expand his business. So what to do? He needs more boats. He needs more people. How can he get more boats? Anyway, anybody, any person?
By renting.
By
Renting.
renting. Okay, maybe he can rent some boats like Roxanne Kumbi, not to buy it. Romesa C4.
Sir, he can do a partnership with a boat company.
Boat company, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a very small town, and Dayan Khan.
So he should have, sir, can you hear me?
Sorry?
Sir, he should have an approach of going on, like the first thing that should be that he is borrowing it from someone, so he has no variable cost attached to it. The second
No
thing
fixed
should
cost.
be no fixed cost. So the second thing should be that he plans on asking someone and renting it from someone at a very low rate, or from one of the, if he's been doing this, so he probably knows people who are canoeing. Okay. So from his social circle, he needs to crack people कि कौन बंदा इस week use नहीं करा. So the person who's not using it at that specific time, he can borrow it or rent it from them. And the final thing should be that he buys some of them, but that should be the least priority thing.
Okay, great. Sometimes the entrepreneurs and Maimans, when things are not that costly, and you have some savings, and when you are sure that this is a boat, I purchased it by $500, and the quality is so good, I can resell it for $450. No problem. It can be resold for $450, and I will be losing only $50. So even that is not a bad deal, actually. Understand? For example, if in Pakistan, if you purchase Toyota Corolla, it can be resold anytime. It has a good reselling value. So that is not that big risk. So when an entrepreneur or a Maiman, when we're talking about, because sometimes it takes a lot of time to find somebody from whom you can borrow. But sometimes if you find something, you have some money, but if you can use and spend it in something which can be resold and you have very less to lose. So he purchased like another boat for $500. He had some savings. He was alone, and he had saved some like 3,000-4,000 euro, for example. So spending 500 is not a big deal. He purchased that. He advertised in his city, and he found some people who were ready to work for 50-50. So if he makes $100 a day, so he will get 50 and that gentleman will get 50. So that could be a good deal. So that was the beginning of his part-time company. And that part-time company started growing, and gradually he went to 30 boats. And then at that point of time, he thought there's no point to work for 9 to 5. So he resigned. So the question is, when shall someone resign? Shall we resign right away, or shall we wait? Up till when shall we wait? Anybody can answer quickly? Up till when shall we wait? Because in many cases, people say entrepreneurs are risk takers. We say the other thing around. Entrepreneurs are calculated risk takers. They don't jump in the dark. So after you are sure that you are making, so if you have 30 boats, you are making around 3, 4, 5,000 euros every month, which is 4 or 5 times your salary. So when you are secure, and when you are, even when you leave a job, we recommend that leave it with dignity and leave it with respect and leave it with good memories. So in entrepreneurship, when we teach our students that when you leave a job, leave it with such a good term, at such good terms that the owner and the previous employees, they're sad and they're missing you in that perspective. So he comes here, he resigns, and grows the business to 40 employees, and eventually July, August, September, and December, and eventually winters come. It is too cold, and the river Kiruna, this and this river is frozen. And this river is frozen, so there is no more boating, there's no more boating, and the whole activity is shut down. What to do? Any idea? He loves cold, he loves skiing, he loves northern lights, ice and snow. What to do? What shall we do?
Start a skiing business.
Skiing business. Yes. Anybody else?
Going to south side.
South side. Oh, great. And south is a bit less cold. Going to south and do some other tourism and enjoy something maybe. And then he started thinking about it. He started and talking with travel bureaus, and somebody told him, why don't you go to? He said that I love skiing and cold. I want to go to a place which is cold, but I want to go to a place where there are a lot of tourists. So I want to learn something new. So people told him that it's better if you go to Alaska. So if you see, we are here in, this is Pacific. So Caribbean will be somewhere here, I think. Caribbean will be somewhere here. How far is US from your Caribbean, my friends?
Sorry?
How far is the West Coast, the US, from your island?
It's closer to well, it's to the west of Hawaii.
Hawaii, okay. So Hawaii is somewhere here, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like 10 hours maybe?
Yeah.
10 hours flight?
Yeah. Well, there is no direct flight, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, if there is one. Okay.
Yeah.
So he comes to know about this place. So you see, he takes a flight and he crosses over the north, over Canada, and he reaches Alaska, Anchorage. So once he reaches there, he is surprised to see if something very interesting going on. And he sees a lot of Japanese there. There are a lot of Japanese faces here. And he's astonished to see, hey, where have these people come from? And what are they doing? And he found out that there are a lot of sculptures being made, a lot of things and these being made, and a lot of exhibitions going on. And he asked them, where did you come from? And they're told that they come from Tokyo. And this is from over the Pacific, and it's like 14 hours flight. So while he spent 3-4 days and he saw the Japanese. They were Japanese flock in flock. And once he saw them and observed them, he came up with another idea. So what would have been that idea? Anybody could share? He came up with a very interesting idea. Anybody can share, sir? What would have been that idea? Talha Safdar? Anji. Sayyid Muhammad, क्या idea आया होगा यार? This can be nothing, there's nothing right and wrong. There's nothing right and wrong. I told you in the first day. There can be any wild idea, anything. Rutba Panjwani?
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, he thought of starting ice sculpture exhibition business in Sweden.
Exactly. Aapka naam kya bache? What's your name, please?
Isha.
Isha. So you see, this is what Roxanne saw. When Roxanne saw the other people selling baby clothes, what did she think, Sajwar? What did she say? I can make it. I can make it better. So when he saw these sculptures being made and people coming here, Musaddiq Hussain, he said, wow, why don't I do it in Sweden? Why don't I do in Sweden? So is this an easy task, Rutba? How much money will be needed to do this? If he wants to do this in Sweden, if he wants to do this exercise in Sweden, he needs hotels, he needs a very good airport, he needs tour operators, he needs like a hospital system there, and this town is too small to accommodate all that. So how much money do you think is needed as an MBA, BBA student? He needs less money, big money, or very big money? 3 out of 3.
I think he needs a lot of money.
A lot of money.
First, you need to collect all the information. He needs to do the market research.
Very good. He needs to collect a lot of information, and that is marketing research. And what else?
And
I appreciate your answer. He needs a lot of money. He needs to collect a lot of information, a lot of data. He needs to know about the best practices in this industry. And he need to know where to get the equipments. So can this project be done by someone who has a bachelor's in engineering? Can this project be done by somebody who has a bachelor's in environmental engineering? He has not taken any course in marketing, finance, accounting, HR, strategy. Tariq Saab, can he do that? Usama Tariq, can somebody without a business degree, can he think about it?
Entrepreneur can do it.
So good. So anybody, my Shifa, can this be done by, will he not spoil this whole thing?
He need a good mentor type.
Mentor, wow.
Yeah.
Good. He needs a good mentor. He needs a Baba.
And good connections.
He needs somebody like Bert. He needs somebody like Bert, who was yesterday's Baba, Babaji. In Urdu, we call the old man Baba, B-A-B-A. So my friends in Thailand and Nigeria. And so he needs a mentor, and maybe then he can do that. But how much money, Sayyid Muhammad, he needs? Small, less, big, very big, very, very big. to do this project. कितने पैसे चाहिए? How much money? Sayyid Muhammad. Any idea?
No. Sir, I don't know, in what terms are you saying? What's a lot of money? What's not a lot of money?
Does he need money to start this business? Does he need money to start?
Yeah.
So he needs a lot of money. Hassan Rashid, is it right?
Sir, I believe that he doesn't need a lot of money because the resources he needs is like basically water and ice, right? So
it's already there.
Yes, it's already there. So he doesn't need to pay for that. And for the information, he just needs to have meetings with the artists or like with those who are already in the field.
Oh,
so
I think you have seen the video. Wonderful, wonderful. I appreciate you have seen the video a bit early, but I appreciate. Very good. This is the question. If he had been an MBA from IBA or LUMS or a graduate of business, accounting and finance or any professional from any university of the world, he would have said, I need a lot of money. And I can't do it, sir. It's not my area. It's too complicated. And this is the power of effectuation. We will talk about effectuation today. The power of entrepreneurship, that a single person, the power of entrepreneurship, that a person, a young man, this job, which is the responsibility of the tourism minister of Sweden. This is a ministerial level opportunity, Tawab. Can you please mute, everybody mute? This is a ministerial opportunity. This opportunity is too big, but this gentleman gets that courage. And as Rubab or Rutba said, that he had to collect information. So he starts collecting information and he needs to know what information has to be collected. So in this case, we will learn that how this gentleman, without doing a bachelor's degree in business, without doing a degree in MBA, how was he collecting information and how he made $1 million company? How did he make $1 million company with common sense? Daim Khan, with common sense. And the common sense, he prevailed. And he knew which information he wanted to collect actually. And without taking courses in marketing research and qualitative data and statistics and economics, he was collecting the relevant information. So that is the key learning of this case. So where do you think, what information does he need? Can anybody tell? What information does he need? Shayan Ahmed? C5.
Yes, sir.
What information does he need to pursue?
Sir, he needs information that how can he make those sculptures, what equipments are required to make them, what type of clients can he attract the clients for visiting his sculptures, and he also needs to know how to preserve those sculptures in the case of changing weathers.
Preserve. These sculptures don't stay for the whole year. They are only for a few weeks, 3-4 weeks. Preserve, pricing, customer, what brings people, what do people like, what do tourists come, what do they eat when they come to your country? Do you have something special for them, what they like to eat? So these questions, very good questions. Where to get the answers, Arif Sher, Hebu? Where can he get the answers?
So through I would say secondary research, through anything that he can just ask around people. He can read about it and look things up, and he will find answers to it. Ask professionals, exactly. ask people that he knows, and he will get around it.
Exactly. This is common sense, Isha. So what he did was, Nazreen, just a minute. Yeah. Okay, speak, Nazreen.
Yeah, actually, we can say that there is we should have a lot of money. All of about that, it's about the partnership. If we
Great.
have a community network or just with partnership, we can do it all of that. All also about the database. We can get some database about these questions from somewhere with
Great.
that of the partnership.
Hazik, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. So I want to add to the point by my stated by my friend that he can ask around regarding the his business, but it's better if we ask to a relevant person who has already worked in that industry. That would really help him a lot because people have their own opinions, but a person who have already worked in that particular industry would have much better information regarding the artists or the sculptures or the the equipment that should be used or how he could attract the customers or the clients. So it's better he asks relevant, relevant personalities who have
Relevant
already
people.
worked. Yes, sir. That's my point. Thank you.
Faisal साहब, the case पढ़ा था आपने मेरे साथ? Did you study this case when you were studying with me? And can you remember? I think
yes,
no,
sir. This case was there.
Okay. So I will come to you then later on. Okay, Janab. So Sayyid Muazzam Shah. Anji, Sayyid Muazzam Shah. You see how to ask. He saw many Japanese there. He is thinking of inviting Japanese to his country. How can he talk to them? How can he start his research? Any idea?
So I think he can talk to some translators to when he goes to Japan, and then ask them if they would like to come to the country.
Yeah. If they ask them to, would you like to come to my country? So if I am moving in, if I am traveling in New York, yes.
He can also show them some of the most beautiful spots of the country, and that might entice him to come to Sweden.
Okay, he can ask people to. On the street. Okay. Mariam, any idea how to contact these people? He sees he needs a translator. He will ask to hire somebody maybe. Is there an easier way? An entrepreneur has a tendency not to spend a single penny. Entrepreneur तो एक पैसा नहीं खर्च करता. दाऊद साहब, दाऊद है आपका नाम? मोहम्मद दाऊद? C5.
जी sir.
Is there any way of connecting people? Is there any way of connecting with these Japanese?
Yes, sir. He could have gone to the hotel breakfast and interacted with the Japanese.
Wow, आपने case पढ़ा हुआ यार, mashallah. It's just a matter of saying hello, as Arif said. Just a matter of smiling.
Yes, sir.
Just go to the breakfast room and say, hello, good morning, how are you, sir? And if there's a chair vacant, just, can I sit there? Sami Shahnawaz, just tell them, sir, can I sit with you? And then while eating your own breakfast, so how are you, sir? And can we ask one intelligent question? What question shall I start my conversation with? I'm sitting with a Japanese who can speak English. Aina, we have Aina. Welcome, Aina, into this course. You're from which country?
Good afternoon. My name is Aina and I'm from Namibia, but I'm currently in Thailand.
Wonderful. I hope you're enjoying and understanding what is happening around here. Great. So Sami, what was my question? That how will you
interact with the Japanese?
Yeah, how will you interact? What will be your first question? What will be your first and second and third question with them?
First question would be about our idea. We would ask them, like, if we initiated this plan, would they be interested in it? Or like in their culture, is there something that they are interested in and the Japanese people are interested in? And second would be like, if they are interested in it, would they be willing to help us and at what cost?
These are good questions, but I think they should be asked a bit later. Is there anything which could be asked a bit earlier? Anything which is because
something that could be asked earlier would be that something about artistic influences in Japanese culture. Because that is something he is interested in.
Like what made them come here?
Exactly. The first thing to do, Suhaira Sheikh, is first of all to greet. As a human being, we're not too materialistic. We say, hello, sir, how are you? Your kids are amazing, beautiful, sir. You are the, and you can say, hey, your sculptures are amazing. So we need to talk something which makes them feel good. And the second question could be, what
Sir?
brought you here? Yes.
So he also need to ask the answer whether they like to travel around the world or not.
It's already clear. They're traveling all around. These people are in Alaska. They're not in
Oh, so they're
Japan.
interacting in a hotel.
Okay.
So they're already there. So that question may be not relevant, maybe. But still, you can ask that: would you like to come to Europe? Would you be willing to come to other parts of the world? So you see, that gentleman who did not have enough money, he kept on asking on the breakfast, and he started making friends. And you know, it's not difficult to make a friend. You know, it's only, you don't need a translator, Abad Khurram. You know, you need, if you want to make a friend in Namibia, in Caribbean, in Thailand, you know what you need to know? You just need to know a few words of the language. And where do you learn it? Just open a dictionary, open the Google or internet or YouTube. Learn few words, and Parmada, what happens when I say Yuswadika? What happens? Parmada is there?
Sir, I think Parmada has left. She had class at.
And what about my friend Aina? If I say hello and good morning in your Namibian language to you, so what will be your first impression?
If you say in my language, I will, of course, I'll wonder
More.
how do you know it, and then I'll start
Exactly.
interacting with
And you will be attentive. You will be listening.
Yes.
You will be attentive. You will be, that's it. So when I meet entrepreneurs, they said it is much better to learn 4 or 5 languages in your school and university than learn many stupid things which we keep on learning. So learning languages, learning history, learning traveling and hobbies and passion, these are more important than getting CGP of 3.5 and 8, 3.8. So what happened was, my dear friends, let's move quickly. You see, he got that information. Equipped with that information, he had no clue what to do next, because he was there for 10 days and he couldn't do more than that. He couldn't invite Japanese right away, come to my country, because he needed to think and plan and design and do some infrastructural things. So he was not clear, and moreover, he was not a business graduate, so he had many questions. He had many, many questions, and these answers. And the answers of these questions don't come in a day, in a week. It takes 6 months, it takes 1 year, it takes 5 years. Sometimes it takes a decade to get the answers. So one never knows when you will get the answer, and sometimes it comes early. So when he comes back, he still starts thinking and says, I want to do it. What do you think he can do when he reaches back in Stockholm? Can he do something which can make him closer to his vision? Is there anything which he can do without spending the money, which can make him closer to his vision? Any idea, my friends?
Sir, he can contact, when he goes back to Sweden, he can contact Sweden tourist department and pitch in his idea.
Why do you think the tourism department can be helpful? How can they be helpful?
Sir, they need to first first accept his, idea, approve of it, and then he can move forward with bringing, and they can actually come on board with his idea and help him, with a few stuff like, connect him with the Japanese tourist companies or tourist agencies, vagera, so that he can get more information on them.
Great, wonderful. So the easiest thing was, without spending a money, Sajwar, he went to the Stockholm Tourism Center. He just popped in. So he just popped into this door, and what will he say to the manager? Anybody can tell? What will he say to the manager? What will be your tone, your language, your selection of words? What will be your intention? When you want to talk to somebody whose help you need, what will you talk to him? कैसे बात करेंगे? How will we talk to him? You enter this building and Ibad Khurram, what will you say to that manager? How will you talk to him?
Maybe.
Sir, can you please repeat what you just said? My internet was lacking and I can hear you clearly.
Okay, yeah, okay, Nazanin, yeah, okay, I'll come back to you. Nazanin, you wanted to say something?
Yes, maybe he can say that they inform me about the Japanese tourists, or he can give some advertisement, some posters or something like advertising things for his sculpture, maybe.
Great. I think there's something, this is a very good answer, but one thing is missing actually. One thing, you're asking him to give you something. You're asking this manager, sir, can you give me this? Can you give me this? Can you give me this?
Data about the Japanese tourists. Maybe?
Data, you are asking data, you're asking brochures, you're asking things from him. Is there any other way of talking? Is there any better way? What Nazanin is talking about? Is there any better way of interaction in which this man? Is there any better way which will make this manager feel happy? Whom he's talking with?
John. Sir.
Yes.
Maybe if you tell him what you can offer.
Exactly. So we need to tell him that here, sir, I'm here to offer you something. And what can you offer him? What can Niels offer him? Can you offer him something?
Like bring that tourist to my place and I will give some patent to this kind
No,
of
something more. He can offer him something really big. Fatin Habib, Fatin Saab, Fatanat dikhaye aaj apni zahanat aur fatanat. What can we give? What can we give? What can we give?
Discount.
So let me tell you a story and we'll come back to this, and we have 5 minutes to tell the story and then we will come back. This story happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago, what happened was there was a student of IBA, fifth semester student, and his name was Hassan. So Hassan was a very tall guy, very tall, and from Karachi, and he was in fifth semester. And in those days, we had an exchange program with the United States. So IBA-CED, the Center for Entrepreneurial Development, we used to offer a course, the FME course. And during that course, Arif, we had an exchange program, and the US business school, Babson, which is #1 in the world, they offered us that you can send 3 students from IBA for a semester, and they will be taught free. There will be no fee, and they will be there for 3 months. They can do like 5 courses of 3 credit hour, 15 credit hours for free. And the only thing which they have to spend is their travel and their stay cost. And they will help in the visa and all other things. So Hassan was selected. Hassan was studying in IBA, and he was, while he was taking this course, we used to have a degree called BB Entrepreneurship in those days at IBA, which later on was stopped, and I will share you why. So when Hassan was in second semester, it was 2013 or 2013, he started a small business at IBA. And the business at IBA was, and he started it with like 5,000 rupees. That is, he started with like $50, 50 USD. And the business was that Hassan felt that the many students at IBA, they did not have a good thing to eat during lunch. Our cafeteria was not good. Our food's quality was not good. So if this is IBA, this is our university. About 1 kilometer away, there is a market called Muscat. And there are a lot of food vendors here. So he came up with an idea that if I arrange a motorcycle, and which he had at his home, that he arranges a motorcycle and he hires a rider, and he can pay him $100 a month. And that rider, and he uses his mobile and uses the SMS in those days. And he advertises an email to the IBA students and faculty. Anybody who wants snacks, they just SMS him, and his gentleman will go and he will be having a community contract with them. And in half an hour, he can bring these burgers and snacks, and this motorcycle man will bring it to IBA. So this idea, we started with how much money? The motorcycle was with him for free. He has an old motorcycle at home. He got one gentleman, a rider, for $100 a month, which he had to pay at the end of the month. Okay, Sajwar? So how much investment in the beginning?
5,000.
No, zero. He has to pay after 1 month.
Oh, yeah.
So it's zero investment. So with zero investment, the only investment he has to give him for fuel, money, for petrol, maybe $5.
And mobile.
Maybe what? And the mobile, yeah, and mobile, an old mobile. And you know what happened was, he advertised and he started getting orders. So food and burgers and chips and these samosas started coming in. And at the end of the first month, he was able to recover the salary. And then the second month started, and then the third month started. I was teaching a course of women entrepreneurship at IBA. And one day when I was in the class, and teaching women entrepreneurs, there were like 50 women entrepreneurs in the class. So when I entered the class, I saw Hassan walking here. I said, Hassan, what are you doing? He said, sir, I'm trying to expand the business. I said, I'm teaching. Can you come in as a guest speaker? Can you come in as a guest speaker and tell these women how you started your business? So this third and second semester, the second semester student came into the class and he said, ma'am, I do cash on delivery and I do this. And you know what happened, Tauma Timiti? There was a woman entrepreneur and she said, hey, Hassan, I make purses and I sell it through courier. TCS is a courier company in Pakistan. And this courier company takes this purse and delivers to somebody and it returns me money in 25 days. Whenever I sell something, I get the money in 25 days. Can you do it for me and bring it down? You know, Fatin Habib, my BBAs and MBAs, that second semester student said, ma'am, I will do it in 3 days. This is the giant, big giant. The big giant in the country is doing in 25 days. And he said, I will do it in 3 days. How did he do it? He asked the same man, I will give you an incentive after 12, after the lunch period. Can you spend 3 hours every day with me? I will give you some extra bonus. And the orders of this lady were delivered. After 1 week, when we had another class, she said she was a happy lady and she said, Dr. Shahid, I am very happy with this young boy and he helped me. I am getting my money in 3 days. There were 50 women in that class. Around 10 said, hey, we want him as well. Can you deliver our products? So in the third month, he was getting like 50 orders a day. And then the fourth month, maybe 100 orders a day. He needed more motorcycles. He needed 4 riders, 4, the work increased. What to do? What to do? What to do? Hassan Rashid, what to do? Motorcycle costs 50,000 rupees. What to do? Spend 200,000 in purchasing motorcycles.
So I would say, like, yeah, he can try to rent the motorcycles.
Oh, very difficult to rent. Anybody, creative idea, very creative idea, without
Sir,
spending a penny, without spending
sir,
even.
he should be hiring riders just like Kareem and other IKEA services are doing nowadays.
Exactly. Mikhail नींद से उठ गए बुआ दो करा दी शाबाश. And what happened was that he just advertised in the newspaper. Anybody who has a motorcycle, he can join me. I will pay him 10,000. I will give him fuel. So he got 4 people, and then his company started. Then Hassan came to me and said to me, "Sir, can I give a desk and a table at IBA-CED building?" And he said, "Sir, if you give me a table and a chair, you taught us entrepreneurship, and we will make you win. A day will come when IBA will be proud of us. A day will come when IBA will be proud of us." So his selling pitch was so good, Faisal bin Badr. He was trying to make me win as a director, because he said, "Sir, I will make CD and IBA win." Look at the way of your communication. We need to learn how to talk. And this thing is not in your management communication courses, my dear. You won't learn in MBA and BBA. You have to learn from somewhere else. This way of talking, it is pure. So I gave him a table and a chair. Then he came to me, "Sir, can you please borrow us a desktop from IBA? I don't have enough money to purchase." So I asked the registrar, and we gave him a desktop, Suleiman, Aina. So he got a free room, free table, free chair, free desktop. And you know what he did? Tauma Timothy? He knew Microsoft Access. He knew Microsoft Access, and he built a database. And he spent 5-6 days. So my BBA students, accounting and finance students, it's more important to learn some programming. You should know some basics of IT. You should know, stop learning those stupid courses, corporate finance and derivatives. They are of limited use. You can learn it later. We need to learn some interesting gadgets and tools and skills. So he made a database without spending a money, and his business was thriving. You know what happened? An interesting thing happened after like 5-6 months. You know what happened, Faisal Sahab? So this is the country, this is Karachi. We're here, then Lahore. He was working here. One person told that, "Sir, can you deliver my parcel to this city?" So my Zarish, the team has arrived. The Menti team.
No, sir, not yet. We still have 10 minutes. Okay.
10 minutes
Sorry.
left. Okay.
She's there.
After 10 minutes. Okay. When shall I finish? 5 minutes में खत्म कर दूं?
जी sir, 5 minutes में कर दें.
Okay. So in 5 minutes we'll be going for a change. So how he was sending his riders to distribute things in Karachi, how to send it 1,000 kilometers away, how to do that. That he was in that 3rd and 4th semester student. You know what happened? He came up with an idea, Musaddaq. And you know his CGPA is 2.5, 2.8. A person with a CGPA of 2.8, he is doing some creative things. And the people with CGPA of 3.7 are sleeping. And they are remembering and rote learning. And they're idle. They're looking for grades. Sir, 5 number बढ़ा दें. Sir, 1 number बढ़ा दें. And they're begging for grades. They're beggars, many of them, not all. Some of them are craving and begging and weeping. एक number के लिए रोते हैं यार. MBA, क्या ख्याल है फैसल बिन बदर साहब? He knows that. He's an executive MBA. 40-year-old person came to me, sir, please enhance my number. My wife will become happy. Please give me an A. So they're begging for grades, Aina. So in this course, we will say, stop begging for grades. We do not want grades. We will make our own destiny. So what happened? He went to a company called Leopards. There was a company, he went to them and said, sir, I have 10 packets every week for Lahore. Can you have a deal for me and do this for me? And can you collect money and give me, you give in 25 days. Can you give me in 10 days, please? So that was a bigger deal, so he got that deal. So he got the money in 10 days. But he had told his customers in Karachi, I will give you the money in 3 days. So what to do, Basil bin Badr? So you know what he did? Very creative. There were two students, Hassan and Ibrahim. Hassan, they took a loan of $1,000 from Hassan took a loan from his dad, and Ibrahim took $1,000 from his dad. In those days, we used to give loan, the CED. So he got a loan of $1,000 from IBA. And surprisingly, one day, the World Bank people came to me at IBA. They came to meet us. And they said to me, Shahid, your woman entrepreneurship program is amazing. And we want to do it more. We want to expand it. Can you hire some young men who can market it in the whole city? And we will pay them $3,000 if you can hire somebody, 3-4 IBA young kids, and they can make a team. Hassan was again passing by. I said, oh, Hassan, come here. Do you want to do this? He said, yes. He took this contract and he got another 3,000. So he got $6,000 as a pocket, as a backup money. So if he's sending something to Lahore, he will get the money after 10 days, but he has this money. He used to pay from this money to the customer, and this way, the number of customers started going up to like 200. And 2-3 more minutes left, and let me complete the story. And then what happened next? Just 1 more minute. What happened next was, I think Faisal bin Badr knows a bit of the story. So he starts making a lot of money. One day, a rich man of Karachi, the owner of ARY, Iqbal Memon, told me, he called me. He called me and said, Shahid, I saw your incubation system in somewhere. Can you bring some of your entrepreneurs to my office in ARY? ARY is a TV channel in Pakistan, and it will be good. We will make some video, movie around them, a program for them. So we, like 10 people, we went to ARY. And Mr. Iqbal, who is an old man, he's the father of Mr. Salman, who's the owner of CEO of ARY. He started interviewing all these 10 people. Hassan was sitting at the end, and his company was the smallest. When Mr. Iqbal asked him about his story, he said, wow! He said, Shahid, I want to adopt this young man. I want to make him my son. I want to purchase his company, Shahid. I'm willing to pay any amount he asks. So you know, my dear IB students, he was a 5th semester student, sells his company for 2 million PKR. He's offered to be the CEO with a salary of 100,000. He's offered 10% ownership, and he's offered that all the offices of ARY in the country, in the whole country, ARY has many offices. He can use any office which he likes, and he has to expand this business throughout the whole country. And this is a boy whose CGPA is 2.8. And he's intelligent. He is not an average guy. He is intelligent. And you know what happened next? The company was acquired by ARY. In 6th, 7th semester, he was making more than an MBA of IBA Karachi. In 2014, his salary was in 7th semester 100,000 rupees, 1,000 USD. He was having like 50, 60 people reporting to him, and he was sitting with the chairman of ARY. He was sitting with the top people, the business community of Karachi. And at that time, when we sent him to Babson, and he was going for the exchange program, he took a leave and he went to Boston. So when he was leaving, you know, Huda, I told him, I said, Hassan, when you go to Babson for 1 semester, Aina, you know, I go with an intention that I have to give something to US. I'm not a beggar. I'm not a beggar. I'm not crazy. I'm not. Many students come to me, sir, please write my recommendation letter. I want to have a Fulbright scholarship. We are not beggars. Go with the intention to any university that I want to give something to this university. What can you give? Muazzam Shah, can a Pakistani boy, a girl give something to an American university? Tell me. Muhammad Abdullah? Yes.
I think you can share your cultural values.
Cultural values. अपने साथ ढोल लेकर जाए यहाँ से ढोल और म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट साथ ले जाएं पाकिस्तान के इज इट
नहीं सर डेफिनेटली अपने जो बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में जो उन्होंने प्रिंसिपल्स अप्लाई किए प्रोग्रेस करने के लिए वो तो किसी भी एनवायरनमेंट में आई थिंक दे स्टिल होल्ड ट्रू
Okay.
Sir, I want to add on something.
Yes.
Sir, may I?
Yes.
Sir, he could have trained his batchmates, the perception that he was having, the goal that he was having. Sir, uski jo direction thi, he could have molded the directions of his batchmates and classmates as well in the US.
Oh, great. Wonderful. So this is what happened. I never knew what I was talking to him. Even after talking to Hassan, I was wondering, what can he give? What can a Pakistani third world country, which is always begging, and we unfortunately, from top to bottom, we are always begging and begging and begging. We don't have our own strengths. We don't look at our own strengths. We don't have our own books. Potler and Stephen and Menkev. We're always a mentality of slave mentality. We don't even respect our own language. We don't know, you know, these IBA students, sorry to say, they don't know the translation of a verse of Iqbal. Most 90–80%, they can't communicate in Urdu. They can't write in Urdu in many cases, not all. Exceptions are there. We are in a state of inferiority. The people of Thailand, oh wow, they don't care about English. They say we have a pride in our own language. The Arabics, the Thai, the Malaysians, the French, the Germans, the Scandinavians. So my dear students, that settlement, out of that slavery, we were wondering what shall Hassan do? Then we told the same thing. We said, hey, go and tell them that I have come here to learn, but I have something to share as well. I will be sharing. I said to him, Hassan, be a great student. Be great in punctuality, be great in respect of your faculty, and spread love and spread respect and share your own story. And I said to him, behave like a director of IBA. You are representing Pakistan. You should behave and your manners shall be in such a way that you enhance the respect of IBA in that place. And convince the American professors that something interesting is happening at IBA and please come here. Solomon Misomali, and you know what happened? He went to Boston, 1 month passed, 2nd month passed, the midterm took place and Hassan called me. He said, sir, something strange has happened. I said, what? Sir, I got CGPA 4 out of 4. Sir, my academics, the way of the teaching style at CED was different than IBA. And I used my creativity and innovation, and they really appreciated it. I got the highest scores, sir. And the teachers in Babson are impressed with my story. And sir, there are many MBA students in my class. Many of them are from Thailand and international. And my performance is better. And you know, Dr. Shahid, the professor at Babson was asking that who teaches you? And sir, I told him that our way of teaching is different. And you need to visit IBA Karachi. Sir Shahid, he's ready to visit you. And he's ready to call you. And you know, we were trying to convince these Babson professors to come to IBA, Daud and Kamran Anwar, and you know how much they were asking? They were asking $30,000 for 3 days. Plus business class travel from Boston to Karachi, $7,000 plus Marriott stay. This was the cost of 3 days. We used to invite Babson faculty, can you please come to IBA? They said, we can come, we need like $40,000. Can IBA pay $40,000, Kamran Anwar, for 3 days? कामरान साहब सीधे होकर बैठे हैं बेटा, हमें भी नींद आ जाती है. Yes.
I doubt, sir.
Exactly. So Misum Ali, Misum. Tariq Saab, Osama Tariq, will you pay $40,000?
No, sir.
Ji, Samin Naveed. $40,000. Dr. Ishir Hussain was the dean. Will he pay? No. You know what happened? I got a call from Bob Springer. Bob comes in. He's a faculty member. He's an angel investor in Boston. And Hassan connects with me. And you know, the moment he calls Mariam Abbas, how to talk to him? Hello, good morning, Bob. How are you? How did you find our students? He said, wow, Shahid, your students are amazing. I said, Bob, you need to come to Pakistan to see what is happening. You need to learn our way. You need to learn the Maimon model of entrepreneurship. He said,
Excuse me,
wow.
Sir, time is almost up. It's 11:20.
Chalo, bas ek minute de de, ek minute. Just
Yes.
And Bob said, hey, okay, let me think. And Samin, after 1 week, we got an email from Bob and he said, Shahid, I am ready to come to Karachi. And I will not charge $0. I will stay there for 7 days, not for 3 days. But there's only one request. I am 65. Can you please arrange a business class ticket for me? And the business class ticket is $6,000 to $7,000. And I will appreciate if you arrange something in Marriott, because in those days. So what shall I do, Muhammad, Sayyid Muhammad? Phas gaye, Maimon phas gaya. Samin, what shall we do? Mariam Abbas, kya karna chahiye? $7,000. What shall we do? If I teach entrepreneurship, if Dr. Shahid is teaching entrepreneurship, shall I practice what I preach or shall I just teach and teach and teach? Mariam Abbas?
You obviously practice what you're teaching.
So you need to practice what you teach. So you know what we did? We consulted our team members, CED team. And the CED team came up with a very interesting idea. They said, sir, why don't you do a 2-day workshop for the corporate people of Karachi, Unilever and the corporate people, and charge like $200 from everybody. If there are 30 people, then we can make like $6,000. If there are 40 people, we can make $8,000. So we advertised in the newspaper in Karachi that Bob is coming and 2 days workshop for the corporate will take place. You pay $35 to $300. And you know, Sayyid Muhammad, 30 people came and we make around $9,000. Bob came, Bob spent 7 days in Karachi at IBA. He taught in the BBA program, in the MBA program. He taught, he met a lot of our people. And you know what happened on the 5th day? Last thing, I will go for a break. On the 3rd or 4th day, on the 2nd day, maybe, Bob whispered in my ears. He whispered in my ears and said, Shahid. They call me Shahid, Samin. In Pakistan, they're supposed to call me Shahid, but the Americans call me, they can't produce this in that way. So they make me Shahid. वो मुझे शहीद कर देते हैं. मैंने कहा चलें कोई बात नहीं यार. आप हमें शहादत के रुतबे पे फाइज कर दें. Shahid. So they said me Shahid, whispered me in my ears and said, sir, I have $50,000 with me. I'm an investor as well. And if I find a good idea, I would like to invest in Pakistan, in Karachi. This is the Karachi of 2015. The Karachi of 2015 was very different, very challenging. And on the 6th day, Bob told me, Shahid, I found a company, thewhy.com.pk in Karachi, and I have invested $50,000. Now tell me, my dear students, who is the hero of the story?
Sir, Hassan?
Exactly. And did his MBA?
No, sir.
A 5th semester student with a CGPA of 2.8 is the hero of the story. These 4.0s are not the heroes. They can be the heroes as well, but the problem is the lack of the entrepreneurial mindset. So this course
Sir,
is,
I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, why didn't you take him online and gave the online classes to your students?
उनको ले आएंगे जनाब, उनको बुला लेते हैं. Thank you. कल बुला लेते हैं. ठीक है जी. Thank you. Over to Zarish.
Okay, so now we have the Mentimeter exercise. Miss Amreen, can you take over?
Well, I am Shaza.
Okay.
Miss Akil is not here. So hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am
Just
Shaza.
a second, Shiza. I'm sorry. Sir, can you make whole CED team co-host because we can't change names.
I have sent you a
sorry, I
private
will be
message.
Yeah.
making,
Thank you, sir.
like Zarish Afreen, okay, rename, and
And can you give the screen sharing option to me as well? I need to share my
I've given it to you.
It's Fatma, Nimi,
Fatma
Javeria.
and Nimi. Yeah.
Okay, I will do it. I'm doing Fatima. So please make sure you have written CD with your name.
Yes,
so
sir.
that
We have written
Okay.
CED. You can do it easily.
So yes. Let me introduce myself. I am Shazamber. I recently completed my O-levels from Beacon House and will be starting off with my A-levels from Beacon House. During this lockdown period, I laid the foundations of my blogging page on Instagram called Princess Pamphlet. You can see the link in here and can follow me as well if you like. So let's begin with our activity. It says state of mind. So this is the second state of mind for our...
Excuse me, Shiza, can you wait, please? I just want to introduce this young lady is, since we don't believe in race, religion, color, and age, many people, our students are in the range of class 3 to PhD. So this lady did her teen entrepreneurship course at IBA, and she has taken the whole course 2-3 times. And she's part of our team. She's designing a lot of games and simulations for the Center for Entrepreneurship. So I appreciate her contribution and welcome her. So over to you, Jesus.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the solar system. And for today's activity, you need to consider that you guys are in the solar system, right? And these planets are representing hills and valleys and lakes and islands of your emotions, of your existing emotions you are in right now, okay? So I'll be stopping this share and we'll be moving to the menti.com. So you guys need to write down this code 389376 on the www.menti.com So give a thumbs up once done. Okay, so two people are there on the land of opportunity. One is there on the state of a roller coaster. One is there on a lake of achievement. So we still have 5 responses waiting for others. Okay, great. Can you see the results? One is bored. Oh God.
Yes, we can.
And one is on peak of volcano. So you are angry, right? Why are you angry? One is sad and on hill of sorrow. 8 are on land of opportunity. I believe you guys are moving towards the effectual approach, right? So 2 are there, 3 are there on the state of roller coaster. 1 is bored. 3 are on lake of achievement. So what is the class size of this particular Zoom session? Because we still have 29 responses waiting for others.
We have around 48 to 49 students.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we still have 32 responses waiting for others. Then we move to the next question. 5 are there on a state of roller coaster. 12 are there on land of opportunity. 1 is bored. 5 are there on a lake of achievement. 6 are there on a valley of peace. 2 are there on peak of volcano, and 2 are sad, which means they are on hill of sorrow. Okay, perfect. We still have 36 responses. Hurry up so we can move to the next question. 2 are bored. Why is that so? So I think let's move to the next question. It is your favorite animated cartoonic character. If I was asked this question, I would definitely say Tom and Jerry. So what about you guys? Tom, Sid from Ice Age. Tom and Jerry, Dexter. Tom and Jerry, Mickey Mouse. Jerry. Perfect. There's so many coming in. Mr. Bean. Ed. Powerpuff Girls. Yes, that was a nice show as well. Popeye. And Doraemon, Minion. I think you guys like this question. We have 39 responses in a very short span of time. Okay, Mr. Bean. Right. Let's move to the next question. It says, which flower describes you best today? Like rose, sunflower, tulip, lily, or cactus? So you need to pull in your answers here. Rose, jasmine, cactus. Sunflower, rose, lily, hibiscus. Okay, perfect. Lily, daisy, sunflower, gobi. That's nice. A dead flower. Oh. Tulip, white rose, chambeli. Perfect. So many answers coming in. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, so it says, if you have a magical lamp, what would be your first wish? I can see some of the faces smiling. Okay, another wish, to have more wishes, to be a millionaire. And coronavirus, yes, current need. Sleep 24 hours, to marry. Unlimited wishes. Infinite wishes. Have another magic lamp. Okay. To have money, to be happy. Millionaire, eternal peace, to have money, to have unlimited wishes, remove negativity. Perfect. Okay. Handsome husband, oh God. To get slim, to marry, happiness, travel the world. To always be happy, to land on moon. Okay. So there are just 35 responses waiting for others to travel around the world. Send me to Hajj this year. Very noble. Travel around the world. Okay. Very nice. Very interesting answers. Okay. Let's move to the last question for now. It says, if you become head of state for one day, what would you do? Head of state of your countries, right? End poverty. Perfect. End poverty. Make, okay. That's inappropriate. Work for literacy. Go back to sleep. Eliminate corruption. Divide state. HHHB. What is this? Resign. Will train all of youths. Very nice. 27 responses. Get visa, just chill, equality, remove corruption, go to Maldives. Okay, you're the head of state and you want to go to Maldives. Pass a resolution to be the head of state forever. Oh, perfect. Make accountable each and every politician. Okay. Update the system, provide employment, eliminate corruption, make Imran Khan the prime minister, remove, okay, Karachi ko alag. I cannot read this. All H. I don't know what is this. Okay. So end the lockdown and remodel the government body and focus on equity and equality within the country. Also narrow the gap between the rich and poor. Okay. Give justice to everyone. Work for literacy. Okay. So I am waiting for 5 others and then over to Zatish Baji. Okay. These are still the 35 responses waiting for 5 others. What is this? HHBH, KBH. I cannot understand this. Okay. I think these are just the answers. Go on a vacation. Very nice. Okay, perfect. So I think that's all from my side for now. We'll see you again by tomorrow, inshallah. So goodbye. Zarish Baji, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Shiza, for this wonderful activity. Dr. Shahid, should we move towards the break or can we take the quiz? Dr. Shahid, you are mute. Sir, you are mute. Can you please unmute yourself?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, you're still mute.
Sir, you are still mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think one thing is to give them a 10 minutes break because C5 Mohammed was yawning multiple times
Okay.
and that made me yawn as well. And so please make sure when you yawn, put your hand in front of your mouth because the whole team is watching you. And this is the actual IBA class. So, what's 10 minutes, quick cup of water, tea, or quick splashes on your face. और कंघी शंघी करके आ रही है तैमूर साहब आपके बाल भी जरा थोड़े से हम कंघी भी इस कोर्स में करवा दें माशाल्लाह देखें उन्होंने सैयद साहब ने आज उनको वीसम साहब की भी कंघी होने वाली है द बॉयज इन पर्टिकुलर द गर्ल्स को हमें कहने की जरूरत नहीं तो जनाब समी साहब वेरी गुड thank you very much we'll be coming back after 10 minutes my camera is on if somebody people can leave. I am available for any questions.
So we will be back at 11:50.
जी?
Be back at 11:50.
हाँ जी 11:50 ठीक है ये 15 मिनट हो जाएंगे अभी क्या टाइम हुआ है?
So 11:38.
11:38 okay. So if somebody has a question I can answer that and you are available for a break. 11:50 will be back in 12 minutes. If somebody has a question, Faisal bin Badar and anybody else, or question or a comment, we'll be happy to take that.
सर लोगों को नींद आ रही है लोग जाके चाय से पियेंगे मेरा ख्याल है
हाँ चाय तो वैसे भी पी सकते हैं उनको कौन सा मना किया हुआ चाय मंगवा लें टेबल पे साथ पीते रहे इतनी इजाजत दे देंगे
सर आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन
जी जी
सर मुझे ये पूछना है कि जो वो होते हैं जैसे हम कंपनीज होती हैं कंपनीज के अंदर जो सर लेबर काम कर रही होती है सर वो क्या उनको हम ये कह सकते हैं कि वो एक ट्रेडिशनल माइंडसेट के लोग हैं या नहीं कह सकते ऐसा?
आमतौर पर तो बेटा पूरा मुल्क ही हमारा ट्रेडिशनल माइंडसेट पे चल रहा है। मेजॉरिटी वर्कर्स की हो, एम्प्लॉयज की हो, ऑफिसर्स की हो, मैनेजर्स की हो, आमतौर पर ना इस वक्त पाकिस्तान में थर्ड वर्ल्ड में हम गुलामाना ज़हनी, स्लेवरी मेंटेलिटी है। जो लेबर है, मैनेजर्स हैं, वो कहते हैं यार मैंने HBL में मैंने IB से कर लिया ना, मुझे तो 1 लाख तनख्वाह चाहिए, मेरी 5 बजे छुट्टी होगी तो मैं जा रहा हूँ बस। तो ये स्लेवरी माइंडसेट है। तो एंटरप्रेन्योर माइंडसेट तो ये है कि उस काम को अपना समझे, लेबर भी उस काम को अपना समझे।
सर अगर ट्रेडिशनल माइंडसेट होगा ही नहीं तो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स फिर हायर किसको करेंगे? जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल
बेटा
एक
वो जॉब भी
माइनस वाला।
वो कहते हैं ना, एज ए लेबरर भी एंटरप्रेन्योर माइंडसेट हो सकता है, एज ए ड्राइवर भी
अच्छा
एंटरप्रेन्योर माइंडसेट हो सकता है, एज ए मदर भी हो सकता है, एज ए एम्प्लॉय, एज ए चौकीदार।
अच्छा
ये
अच्छा
एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का
एज एन
ये
एम्प्लॉय
मतलब नहीं
भी
है कि हर आदमी
माइंड।
कारोबार शुरू कर दे। एंटरप्रेन्योर माइंडसेट
अच्छा
का
अच्छा सही
मतलब ये
सही
है कि आप प्रोएक्टिव हों, आप अपने मालिक को वैल्यू दे रहे
सही
हों, आप वैल्यू क्रिएट करके दे रहे हो।
सही
आप अगर मालिक ने
सही
आपको
सही
50,000 पे रखा हुआ है ना, आप ऐसा काम करेंगे उसको 2.5 लाख का फायदा दे रहे हो। आप पंक्चुअल
अच्छा
हो, साफ
सही
सुथरे हो, क्लीन हो, आप भी ऑब्जर्व करते हो, जिंदगी में सीख रहे हो, तो वो हर एक को मौका नहीं मिलता जिंदगी में। कुछ लोग करेंगे, तो इसको जॉब को भी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कहते हैं हमारे कोर्स में।
अच्छा जॉब
अदरवाइज
को भी हम
अगर मैं
कहते
तो
हैं
मुझे
सही।
तो IB से रिजाइन करना पड़ जाएगा इस डेफिनेशन में, क्योंकि आप कहेंगे डॉक्टर शाहिद
यस
आप
एग्जैक्टली
यू आर नॉट प्रैक्टिसिंग व्हाट यू प्रीच। तो जो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की डेफिनेशन जो नई है सामने आई है ना, वो ये है कि you can be entrepreneurial in any role, as a father, as a mother, as an employee, as a banker, as a manager, as a teacher. वो असल में वो खूबियां हैं, वो माइंडसेट है। वो माइंडसेट अगर वो रेडी वाले में है तो वो भी एंटरप्रेन्योर है। वो माइंडसेट एक अम्मी जान में है, अगर अम्मी जान 4 बच्चे हैं उनको रोजाना वक्त से उठाती हैं, उनको एजुकेट करती हैं, मैनर्स सिखाती हैं, जब हस्बैंड घर आते हैं उनको ख्याल रखती हैं, उनको मशवरे देती हैं बिजनेस में, अगर उनको अच्छे मशवरे दे रही हैं उन्होंने, तो वो भी एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं।
सही
एक अम्मी जो आपको मोटिवेट कर रही हैं, आपको खिला रही हैं, कपड़े कमरा साफ करवा रही हैं, और आपके अब्बू को, आपके अंकल, आपके ग्रैंडफादर को सबकी खदमत भी कर रही हैं, उनको मशवरे भी दे रही हैं आपको, तो वो एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं है? क्यों नहीं है वो?
जी जी सर बिल्कुल
वो
सही
सुपर
बात
एंटरप्रेन्योर है। तो आई थिंक आवर डेफिनेशन इज नॉट करेक्ट। हमारा एक ड्राइवर है फॉर एग्जांपल फैसलाबाद में, वो टेक्सटाइल यूनिवर्सिटी में एक ड्राइवर है, मैं लाहौर में कर फैसलाबाद गया, तो
जी
वो जो
सर
ड्राइवर है वो
जी सर
अपना मुझे ना एयरपोर्ट पे लेने आया, तो मेरी फ्लाइट 2 घंटे लेट हो गई, तो मैंने कहा यार आप, आई एम सॉरी आपको शहर जाना पड़ा, शहर दूर है ना? उसने कहा नहीं सर, मैंने पता क्या किया, मैं मस्जिद में चला गया, वजू किया, 2 रकात नफल नमाज पढ़ी, फिर कुरान पाक पढ़ा, फिर यहाँ सो गया, मेरे 2 घंटे गुजर गए। तो उसके बाद वो
बेहतरीन
मुझे ले गया, और वहां पे जब मैं जो छोड़ने आया, तो मुझे कहने लगा कि सर आपने ना ये फैकल्टी को वर्कशॉप कराई है। हम फैकल्टी को वर्कशॉप कराने गए थे। सर ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि यही वाली वर्कशॉप 2-4 घंटे की हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के ड्राइवर्स को भी करा दें, क्योंकि जो आपने बातें, मैं आपको जब कमरे में छोड़कर आया था ना, तो आप मैनर्स की, एंटरप्रेन्योरल माइंडसेट की, डिसिप्लिन की बातें कर रहे थे। तो वो ड्राइवर जो है ना, वो इतना साफ सुथरा है, बहुत अच्छे कपड़े पहनता है और अदब से काम लेता है। उसने एक डायरी बनाई हुई थी, उस डायरी में उसने मेरा नाम, मोबाइल नंबर भी लिख लिया।
अच्छा अच्छा
और कहता है इसमें मुझे ना कोई मशवरा नसीहत भी करने डायरी में। तो आप
अच्छा
बताएं, ये ड्राइवर ऑन ड्राइवर है, इज ऑर्डिनरी ड्राइवर?
नो सर नॉट एट ऑल ही इज नॉट
ये
एन ऑर्डिनरी
एंटरप्रेन्योर माइंडसेट वाला ड्राइवर है।
यस
हम
एग्जैक्टली
इसकी बात कर
मतलब
रहे हैं।
सही सही मतलब इंसान मतलब जैसे कि एंटरप्रेन्योर माइंडसेट ये कह सकते हैं कि प्रोडक्टिव हो और एक ही पाथ को फॉलो ना करे, मतलब कि डाइवर्सिफाई भी कर सकता है अपने आप को और प्रोडक्टिव नेचर का हो।
और अगर मौका मिले तो बिजनेस भी कर लेगा, वरना जॉब करना भी एक अल्लाह की नेमत है। और
सही बात
यानी जिसको जो मौका मिले वो तलाश करे, अल्लाह का फजल तलाश करे। ऊपर
सही
अल्लाह ने हर एक के लिए मुख्तलिफ चीजें रखी होती, किसी के लिए एग्रीकल्चर में जगह रखी है, मुर्गियां, तोते, एग्रीकल्चर, BBA। तो हम ये कह रहे हैं, हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि आप BBA छोड़ दें बेटा, हम ये कह रहे हैं कि
ठीक है
BBA इस तरह करो, एनक
सही
बदलो, एनक बदलो, एनक एनक जी।
एग्जैक्ट
तो
सही
आपके समय
थैंक यू सर।
आपके फैमिली बिजनेस से ताल्लुक है आपका, या क्या करते हैं आपके
सर
अब्बू?
सर मैं भी मेमन हूँ और फैमिली बिजनेस से ही ताल्लुक है, और अब्बू ज्यादातर स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में होते हैं, ट्रेडिंग में होते हैं, और गाड़ियों का काम। बाकी हमारा दूसरा बिजनेस
मेमनपन
आइस
सीखें
का।
भाई, असली वाला मेमनपन।
जी
जो
सर, एग्जैक्टली।
जो मेमन भी भूल गए कि मेमनपन क्या था।
हाँ
मेमन तो भूलेंगे,
सही
अगर
बात
आईबीए
है।
में बच्चों को भेजेंगे, अगर मेमन
जी
अपने
सर,
बच्चों को लम्ज और आईबीए भेजेगा तो इंशाल्लाह भूल जाएंगे, क्योंकि वो तो हम उल्टी चीज सिखा रहे हैं ना। हम तो
सही
कॉजेशन
बात,
सिखा रहे हैं, हम
सही
तो
बात,
कॉन्सेप्ट
सही
उल्ट
बात।
सिखा रहे हैं।
हम्म,
कि सही कह रहा हूँ या गलत कह रहा हूँ?
नहीं सही कह रहे हैं सर, सही कह।
आपके जो दादा अबू थे, परदादा, ये जो ARY के इकबाल मेमन साहब हैं,
जी जी
इनके
सर,
दफ्तर में जब हम गए
जी
तो
सर।
लकड़ी की कुर्सियां थी, सोफे नहीं थे। इनके
अच्छा,
कमरे में जब हम गए तो इन्होंने पुराने पुराने पेपर जो होते हैं ना, फोटोकॉपी के यूज्ड, एक साइड के खाली, उसको स्टेपल किया हुआ था। ये
अच्छा,
पुराने पेपर को यूज करते हैं, ये मेरी तरह इन्होंने ये नहीं रखी हुई।
अच्छा, अच्छा, पुराने
ये
पेपर्स को ही
जी
इस्तेमाल
जी,
कर लेते हैं। सही सही।
इसको कंजूसी नहीं
सर,
कहेंगे, इसको
नहीं नहीं, इसको कंजूसी नहीं
इसको
कहेंगे, सही
कफायत
बात है।
शारी कहेंगे, इसको
बिल्कुल
क्रिएटिविटी
सर,
कहेंगे।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर, को
ये
बहुत
आपको
लोग
आपको
इसको मिसकंसेप्शन ले लेते हैं इसको, कि इसको कंजूसी समझते हैं,
नहीं, वो तो
लेकिन
वैसे प्यार से कहते हैं, वो तो आप ये तो यही लोग आगे जा सकते हैं ना।
हाँ
जो
बिल्कुल सही बात
ये
है।
मैं चीजें महंगी बनाऊंगा, फिर मैं नखरों के
हम्म,
साथ काम करूंगा। मैं
हम्म।
तला साहब आप कुछ फरमा दें यार, मैं जरा थक गया हूँ, आप ही कुछ बात कर दे। तला साहब, तला साहब हमारे IBA
जी
MBA के
अस्सलाम
हैं।
सर।
वालेकुम सलाम। हाँ जी, कोई कहानी सुना दें यार बच्चों को, छोटी सी एक दो।
जी सर, ये जी तो मैं इसमें सर अपनी एक थोड़ी सी, अगर आप कहें तो आपकी परमिशन से, तो ये एंटरप्रेन्योरियल क्वालिटीज़ की जैसे सर बात बता रहे हैं, तो मैं खुद भी एक एंटरप्रेन्योरियल फैमिली से ताल्लुक़ रखता हूँ। मेरे फादर, ग्रैंडफादर, हमारे अपना बिजनेस, फैमिली बिजनेस रहा है, और फिर MBA भी करने का मौका मिला IBA से, फिर कंपनी में जॉब भी करते रहे। तो जो सर बता रहे हैं ये बेसिकली क्वालिटीज़ का ही नाम है। सर इज़ राइट, लाजमी नहीं है कि हर बंदा ही, अभी हम जैसे जॉब करते हैं, जैसे सर बता रहे हैं, तो जॉब में भी ये माइंडसेट के साथ, ये इखलाक, मोहब्बत, कोशिश, एफर्ट, डेडिकेशन, ड्राइव, ये क्वालिटीज़ जो है अपने कुलीग्स, एहतराम, रिस्पेक्ट, इंटेग्रिटी, ऑनेस्टी, डेडिकेशन, ये सारी जो चीज़ें हैं, ये बेसिकली माइंडसेट ही है। और ये डेली बेसिस पर ये काम होना है। मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि एक हफ्ते में मैं इस तरह का रवैया रखूं और अगले हफ्ते मैं बोलूं नहीं बस बहुत हो गया, चेंज कर लो अपने आप को। तो ये जॉब हो, बिजनेस हो, स्टडीज हो, यानी ये सारी चीजें इंटरलिंक्ड हैं। और कनेक्टिंग डॉट थ्योरी है स्टीव जॉब्स की, एक फेमस उसने स्पीच की है स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में, 14 मिनट्स की वो स्पीच है, अगर आपको मौका मिले तो आप देखिए, कनेक्टिंग डॉट थ्योरी। उसमें 3 पॉइंट्स वो कहता है। उसमें वो कहते हैं हम लाइफ में जो कुछ भी करते हैं वो इन दी एंड जो वो डॉट्स हैं वो आगे जाकर कनेक्ट हो जाते हैं। हमें अभी तो नहीं पता चल रहा होगा कि अभी हम जो काम कर रहे हैं वो हमें कैसे, हमारे लॉन्ग टर्म में किस तरह से हमें हेल्प आउट करेंगे, लेकिन इन दी एंड लॉन्ग टर्म में वो सारी चीजें वो सामने आती हैं। वो कहते हैं जैसे दुनिया गोल है, वर्ल्ड इज राउंड, जो भी आप करेंगे वो वापस आएगा। न्यूटन का थर्ड लॉ भी है, एवरी एक्शन हैज एन इक्वल रिएक्शन। ये लाइफ में बिल्कुल रियलिटी है। ये अगर हम ये समझते हैं कि हम कोई शॉर्टकट देख लेंगे, कोई डॉज कर देंगे, कोई ट्रिक हमारे पास है, ऐसे लाइफ में नहीं होता। देयर इज नो शॉर्टकट। तो उसमें ये है कि एक प्रोसेस का नाम है, सारी चीजें हैं, साथ साथ सब कुछ चलना है। और जैसे सर ने कहा ये माइंडसेट ही है बेसिकली। जॉब में भी ये माइंडसेट हो और बिजनेस में भी हो, जहाँ जिसके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले, अपने रोल के अंदर हर बंदा अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज को फुलफिल करे। तो दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट।
सही। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
प्लेजर।
जरिश, ये जरिश साहब हैं?
जी सर।
आप इनको जवाब देना कि आप एज अ जॉब काम करती हैं या अपना काम समझ के काम करती हैं? CD में जब हमारे साथ काम करती हैं।
सर मैं तो अपना काम समझ के करती हूँ,
ये
मुझे
देखें
मजा
ना
आता
जावेद
है।
भाई।
या
हाँ जी। So great Christoph, I think is they'll be back in a minute. तो जनाब देखा आपने हमारे IBA के बच्चों, रमशा सिद्दीकी साहब, you are there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
हाँ जी, आप अपना काम समझ के इंटर्नशिप करने आई हुई हैं या अपना कोई वैल्यू ऐड करने आई हुई हैं?
बिल्कुल नहीं, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सीखने भी आए हैं, वैल्यू भी ऐड करने आए हैं, और आपका सबसे ज्यादा गाइडेंस लेने आए हैं।
अच्छा बेटा, हम भी सीख रहे हैं। माशाल्लाह, अल्लाह ताला का फजल है आप लोगों से, आप जैसे लोग हमें माशाल्लाह हाँ जी अब्दुल्ला साहब जनाब आप कुछ फरमा दें जनाब अब्दुल्ला कैन टॉक समथिंग
नहीं सर ठीक है कोई मसला नहीं।
हाँ जी
सर हमारे पास कुछ थाईलैंड से नए लोग भी ज्वाइन हुए हैं आईना समथिंग
Okay, so there's so you can talk in English then. So there are some people who are joining new,
हेंस
but
ने मैं ख्याल है सर कोई लिस्ट भेजी हुई है, हेंस ने कोई लिस्ट भेजी हुई है 31 लोगों की
यस सर
कंट्रीज के साथ उनके।
अच्छा बस वो मुझे लगता है कि वो ना चले आई होप दे एंजॉय यार अल्लाह से दुआ करते हैं कि हम सो ग्रेट ग्रेट एनीबॉडी एल्स जनाब कामरान अनवर साहब आईबीए से जनाब कामरान साहब आप आ गए वापस
कुछ लोग मेरा ख्याल है सर गए नहीं थे।
गए नहीं थे
जी जी सर।
जी फातिमा अली साहब आर यू देयर
Sir, should we take quiz after this break? या
हाँ जी कुछ ले लें चलिए कुछ ले लें
5 minutes का टाइम दे दूँ उन्हें?
हाँ जी दे जी आप ओवर टू यू जी तो आप कैसे करेंगे जनाब यू
सर
हैव
वो
दैट
गूगल क्लासरूम में मैंने क्विज असाइन कर दिया है बच्चों को वो
अच्छा
अभी क्या है 1 मिनट पहले थोड़ी देर हुई है तो वो जो है बस मैं उन्हें इंस्ट्रक्शंस दूंगी कि वो अपना क्विज
ठीक
खोल के और वो वहीं कर लेंगे फौरन ही
बस ठीक है जी तो 5 मिनट लगेंगे दे विल टेक 5 मिनट्स ओके
या बिकॉज इट विल
that's
might open their Gmail accounts and so that's it.
जी exactly so that's good so we have like 30 seconds for people to come back
I've messaged on the group as well about joining
okay
the
great
class.
so please message in the group so Janab or anybody else from our team तो आज तो एक्सरसाइज नहीं थी आज तो क्लस्टर्स का टाइम शायद पता नहीं होगा ये तो कल होगा ना आज तो क्लस्टर की एक्टिविटी तो नहीं है ना
नहीं सर इसके बाद आपका ही सेशन है
तो जो हमारे क्लस्टर कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं उनको छुट्टी भी मिल सकती है क्योंकि अभी तो केस चलेगा तो नीमी साहबा आई होप यू आर एंजॉयिंग आवर स्टे विद सीडी नीमी यू आर देयर नीमी सिद्दीकी ब्रेक पे चलेंगे
निमी साहब थोड़ा सा वो जो इंटरव्यूज हो रहे हैं उनमें भी देख सकती हैं वो जो बैतुल सलाम वाले इंटरव्यूज हो रहे हैं
हाँ उसमें उनको उनकी तश्कील करा दें जरा नीमी आर यू देयर तो फातिमा अली यू आर देयर
यस सर
हाँ जी आप माशाल्लाह जी आई होप यू आर फाइन 3-4 दिन आपके सीडी के साथ गुजरे कैसा रहा हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस
यस सर Sir, it is a great experience. Alhamdulillah, मैं बैतुल सलाम वाले I have also conducted almost around 50 interviews.
Okay.
So that was also an amazing experience.
Did you find some women they are really interesting and they have those capabilities, potential नजर आया उनमें जी कुछ काम करने का आगे बढ़ने का?
Yes, sir. Coming from very underprivileged areas, and most of them were from Site area or Korangi and Sarjani, and those kind of areas. But they had really resilient stories. People who hardly have anything to do in the lockdown period. Their husbands are at home these days, so it was a very good experience knowing how people fight their battles. On a daily basis, how they struggle for literally one loaf of bread. So it was a very humbling experience, basically.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you. Okay, Janab. So I hope everybody's fine. Please start switching on the cameras so that Nazreen, you're back. And we have.
Okay. So should I make the announcement now? For
exactly. Announcement kar dein.
So class, we are having a quiz for 5 minutes. I've assigned quiz number 3 on Google Classroom. Please go through your Gmail account and open that quiz. You exactly have 5 minutes to do it. It's a MCQs based quiz, so it won't take too much time. So it's 11:53 at the moment, and your time starts now. I'll end it at 11:57, I think. Yeah. Understood? If anyone is facing any problem, let me know. I'll share. Or if anyone hasn't received the email.
Ma'am, I have not received the email.
I haven't received the email either.
Do you receive classroom emails generally, or you haven't received it? Like,
मैम ये वाली नहीं आई, वैसे जनरली आती हैं.
Ma'am, I also haven't received my email.
I haven't received the email.
Just a minute. Just a minute. 3 student has already done it, वैसे, so I don't know why.
Yeah, Sarish, it's been assigned to 47 students. I have sent the screenshot to on the group as well.
Yeah.
So there might be a internet issue.
Achha, let me do one thing. Let me do one thing. There is another way. Let me do one thing. Okay, so I am sharing the link, Google form link of this quiz. You can go through this link directly and attempt the quiz if you are not able to go through your Gmail, Google accounts.
Can you please confirm जिसका आपके पास आ गया है, ताकि क्योंकि हम लोग अभी भी एक्सेस कर सकते हैं, लेकिन मैंने कंप्लीट कर लिया है.
Okay, okay. I'm going. I'm just telling. Okay, Maryam Abbas, Muhammad Abdullah, Ahmad Haziq, Rumesa, Arif, they have done it. These 5 students has done it. And for the rest, those who have done it on Google Classroom, please don't do it on this spreadsheet, otherwise it will create confusion. Okay, I have received 5 more on spreadsheet. Muhammad, just a minute. Okay, that's the same spreadsheet. Fine. One more. Just a minute.
We have received 10 on the Google Drive, Google Classroom.
Yeah. Give 1 more minute.
Ma'am, can you confirm that you received it from my end?
Can you extend the time? I just received it.
Okay, okay. 3 more minutes, then we'll end it exactly at 12. Those who haven't received this email on your Google account, please do contact Asghar Saab at the end of this class so that we can resolve this issue. Okay, वैसे I have assigned this to everyone and I don't know why
They can send the message to the respective cluster group, so it won't clutter on the main group.
Yeah, okay, fine. Then
All
we'll
queries
coordinate.
must be handled on the cluster group. So
Is it over, Zarish?
Yes, sir. Just 1 more minute. Few students
Okay,
received
okay,
it.
okay, okay.
I need to ask a question. I handed in the quiz, but it's still saying assigned. Like it's not showing handed in.
Your
I did
name is
twice.
Shifa.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shifa Dubai.
Okay. Yeah, yours is submitted. I can
Okay.
see your submission.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so time up, guys. It's 12 o'clock. Let me.
I submitted my quiz, but it still says assigned.
Your name?
Sami Shahnawaz.
Sami. Yeah, it's submitted. It's not an issue. Yeah.
Me, if you have received my submission.
Can you tell me your name?
Furqan Heather.
Furqan Heather. Just a minute.
Zarish, can
Yes,
we do
it's
it
done.
in the
It's
cluster
done.
group
Yeah,
chat?
almost. Yeah.
If I can
If you are not you can't see your submission, so not a problem because I can see all of your submissions. And time is up now. I won't be grading any assignment after 12, so please stop writing. And Dr. Shahid, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you will be feeling a bit fresh now and will be in the island of creativity or the island of happiness somewhere, inshallah. So I'd like to welcome our friends from all over, from Uzbekistan, from Thailand, from Europe, or in various parts of the country. So we just stopped over for a quick story of Hassan, and the story continues a bit. And you know what happened while he was still there, Hassan, while he was still in Boston, he told me, sir, there's a German professor in Boston, and Dr. Uli. And I talked to, when she knew my story, she was interested in what is happening at IBA, and it will be good if you talk to her. So it was 2014 or 2014 when I had a telephone conversation with Dr. Uli. So since I can speak German, so how to talk? So when we opened the Skype call, I said, hey, wie geht's? Good morgen. So that's why it's very important that we need to greet and need to know each other, and language helps a lot. So Frau Uli, Dr. Uli was so excited about what was happening in Pakistan. And she said that she was teaching in Bangkok University. And while she will return back, she would love to come to Pakistan. So Frau Uli, Dr. Uli, she traveled from Bangkok to Karachi, and she traveled and she stayed for a week with us, like few days, 5 days, 6 days. And she taught in our various programs, women entrepreneurship and technology entrepreneurship. And she loved those days. So this is a quick story of a small intervention of one person, Hassan. Hassan is right now, he is around 29, 30. He did his MBA. He did his BBA from IBA. He did that in 7 semesters because he did 4 courses in summers in Bob Babson. That made him do that. He was the one who got a job in 7th semester of 100,000 rupees. He was a COO, and then he became a founder of that. He stayed with that company for 2-3 years. Then he went into a bigger company. And now he's the chief operating officer and a part owner, Trax. I think his name is Trax International. He's a 20% owner, I think, if I remember. And he is doing his part-time MBA from IBA as well. And he's a guest speaker in many places, Hassan Khan. So this story tells about the story of the International Summer School. The summer school which is happening right now, my IBA students, can you imagine people coming from Europe and America and Australia to learn from IBA? Can you think about that? And that credit again goes to Hassan, Osama bin Tariq, OBT. We have a student, Osama bin Tariq, and there another Farid. These three students were instrumental in starting this. Can you imagine that the PhDs and the MBAs are on one side and these undergrad students? You know how it happened? It was 2016, 2015, I think, when Uli and Hans from Bangkok called me. They called me that we are having an international school in entrepreneurship in Bangkok for 2 weeks. Shahid, can you tell some students from IBA? So about 10 boys and girls, they attended that school, and our young men and women were so good in that school. The performance was so good. And I was also teaching in that school. There were about 200 students in that summer class. Many of them, when they listened to our model and saw our students, they said, Dr. Shahid, why don't you have the similar thing in Pakistan? So that was the beginning, 2016, 17, 18, 19. We had people physically coming all over the world. So people from Mexico, Brazil, United States, Canada, people from Europe, Holland, Germany, Poland, Middle East, Dubai, from Philippines, from Australia, from Ukraine, have come to IBA to do this course. So this thing, I would just attribute it as a blessing of God Almighty. And you can see that how a small idea can turn and transform into such a huge thing. So that was a quick thing which we were discussing the case, that it's very important in Neil's case, networks, languages, saying greetings, you have to be creative, innovative. And this is what happened. So Niels, when he went back, he met the tourism office. The tourism office told him that, sir, you go and meet the Scandinavian Tourist Board. Scandinavia is a group of countries. So you go and meet them, and they have a common tourism board. So when he went there, they said, hey, gentlemen, we can help you by providing a list of Japanese tour operators. So he got an email list. So he emailed them. And when he emailed them, very few people replied. When very few people replied, he started calling them. So when you make a telephone call, so you see, this is the Maimon way of doing things, the entrepreneurial way. He's not spending, he's spending money wisely. So what happens is, on one telephone call, he's talking to 50 or 60 to 100 people and talking to them and contacting them, but people do not feel interested. People do not feel interested. So let me talk to you a quick story. Once, when I was doing my PhD in Berlin, and we will be having a tour of Berlin in this class, in this session. When I was doing my PhD in Berlin and I was doing research, I was supposed to interview like 140 German entrepreneurs. So when I used to make a telephone call, I would say, hello, sir, I'm Shahid. I'm doing my PhD. I want to talk to your CEO. Please, can you please arrange a meeting? And in most of the cases, 95%, the secretary would say, sir, sorry, he is busy. Can anybody tell me what is the problem with this tone, with this call? Is there any problem with this the way I'm doing? जी, Mohammad Swaleh Opai Saab, Mohammad Swaleh Opai. What is the problem in my tone, in my words? Do you find any problem in my telephone call? Ji, Sajvar Channa, do you think there is any problem in my? Are you listening to me? मेरी आवाज आ रही है जी? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Ari.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
So, do you feel that is there any problem with my telephone call? Why are 95% people saying no? We don't have time. We are busy. Is there any problem with me, or is there any problem with them?
Sir, आपके क्या कहते हैं फोन कॉल में कोई ऐसी एक्साइटमेंट नहीं है जो उनको अट्रैक्ट करे?
Can you please in English? So so there's no excitement in my very good. Thank you very much.
There's nothing you're offering them or nothing that's attracting them.
Very good. So there is no excitement. I appreciate. There's no excitement. There's no offering to them. Why would somebody give me 60 minutes?
And so there's no call to action in the statement that you're making when you were talking. You're not engaging them. You're not engaging them. So not even that they respond to something and they get engaged in that process.
And my dear students, I was 38 years old. I had an MBA from LUMS. I had a Master's of Engineering from Thailand. I got first position of Engineering University Lahore. And still I did not learn how to talk. What a dilemma. What a dilemma that the education system does not prepare us how to talk. We are PowerPoint people and O-levels and the A-levels, and the IBA says we prepare people, leaders for tomorrow. And then I discovered I had to unlearn. And the entrepreneurial mindset made me unlearn and learn many things. I said, oh my God, I was making a major mistake. Why I did not have that excitement? Because I was shooting in the dark. So I went to my own website, the Technical University of Berlin website. There were like 100 entrepreneurs, alumni entrepreneurs. I looked at their CVs, looked at their websites. I prepared who they are, what they did, what was their achievement, when did they study at Technical University Berlin. And then I made a different strategy, not a strategy, different talk. Now listen to my talk. Hello, good morning. I'm Mr. Shahid, a researcher at the Technical University of Berlin. We are working on a very interesting project to help German entrepreneurs become successful. And we want to meet Mr. Tom, who is our graduate 10 years ago, and we were really impressed. I think this conversation can help Tom improve and grow his company. Can you please arrange a meeting with him? Ji Janab, how is this, Fatin? Is this sales pitch better?
Yes, sir.
The tone, the excitement, the offering. And I tell you, there's no course in the BBA MBA program which teaches that. Faisal bin Badr Saab, is there any course which teaches that?
Unfortunately not, sir. There's no course that can teach that. And I can remember one of the CEOs of the group of companies, he came to IBA and he said that whatever you learn here, it is just the 20% of what we need in the industry. 80% is intercommunication and what we teach you. So unfortunately, in biggest business schools like IBA and LUMS, we don't teach how to communicate.
And they're charging millions, man. Harvard model. I don't say IBA, I say the Harvard model, HBS. I'm a professor at IBA, I'm a graduate of LUMS. So I respect them as well. But there's a big question. There's a big question, and big question to everybody. To students who are paying, the parents who are paying, the students who are spending money. And wherever you go for your studies, are they preparing us for the entrepreneurial mindset? So my dear friends, what happened was you know what happened after this when my sales pitch changed? I started getting appointments for 30 minutes and 60 minutes. And my dear students, Rutba Panjwani, whenever I go, wherever I went in Berlin, after 50, 60 minutes, you know what happened? The CEO would say, sir, can you please extend this? I really enjoyed talking to you. I got an opportunity to learn. I got an opportunity to reflect. Can you please have lunch with me? There's another half an hour left. We don't want to let you go. Please have these snacks with us. Maribo, Rutba, Shohera, Sajwar, Azik, this was happening. And I was at the age of 38, 2 master's degrees from the best places of the world. And we were learning how to talk. And you know, when I joined, and let me tell you another thing. When I joined, I'll tell you 2 stories. I worked for a person who was a class 12 dropout. I worked at IBA. The HR director is an MBA, state of the art, 30 years experience. I joined IBA from Germany. I came from Germany. I used to work with this gentleman in Gujarat, in a city called Gujranwala. When I joined him, just a very interesting learning for my students. When I joined him, his company, you know, he took me on his car to the other city around 150 kilometers. And he took me to his car and he said to me, Shahid, look, this is my house and it is all furnished. The kitchen is full of vegetables and fruit and whatever. You will stay here for 3, 5, 6 days. And I'm in another town for a few days. You will stay in my house, your family, and me and my team will find a house for you. And the house which you like, then you will shift over. So I was joining a company which was being run by a class 12 dropout, class 10 certificate, and he had the manners of doing this and saying yes, hello, and greeting and giving his own house. When I joined IBA after my PhD, IBA is managed by around 60, 70 PhDs and many MBAs, and those people have international exposure. So they asked me to join them from Germany. On their special request, when I landed at IBA, the dean said to me, hey, sir, welcome. Let's meet the HR director. Go, and the HR director greeted me and said, great, sir, welcome to Pakistan. Sir, I will connect you with my deputy HR. He will take care of you. I went to him. He said, I will connect you with my assistant HR. He will take care of you. And you know what the assistant said to me, sir? This is a list of property dealers in Karachi. You can call them and you can find your own house. Look at the behavior, the learning, the attitude of a people who are educated from the best places, who are O-level, A-level, state-of-the-art education, master's degrees, living in the metropolitan city of the country, the Harvard model. This is a small town, a small city, rich person, but he, his team, they don't only do this with me. If they hire 100 people, they will do it for everyone. They will do it for others. Why is this difference? Rutba Panjwani Sahiba, Rutba? Why? These are more educated. These are more educated. These are less educated. Why do you think is this difference? Anybody would like to share their thoughts?
I think they are very motivated. Even though they're less educated, but
exactly. Mindset. Gee, Shifa Zubair. What is happening here? What is happening here?
I think the more educated people think their time is more valuable than others.
Gee, anybody else? Ahmad Hazik, what is your take?
Yes, sir.
Is this sad or is it good?
Sir, they are ethically more educated than us.
Exactly. We are in an illusion. We are living in an illusion that we are educated. These people are living in an illusion they are educated. And these people drop out. In Pakistan, India, America, Europe, wherever they are humbled. Humble. Gratitude. Respect. Humanity. So that is why the article which I gave you yesterday, it was not my dream, my article. Bulldoze down these business schools. It was not my article out because the attitude and behavior which is being inculcated and the type of people which are being developed. And if you want to, if you have patience to hear, if you can have the guts to hear, you know, the dean Shoshana Zuboff, she is the professor of Harvard Business School. थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा फैसल बिन बदर साहब ये बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकेंगे बच्चे रहने दो Huda, shall I share or leave it?
Sir, share it, please.
Sir, you should share now.
Shoshana, sorry.
You can share it, sir.
Shoshana Zuboff said, I
Share
have
it,
been
sir.
teaching in the Harvard Business School for the past 25 years. I will give you the reference as well. I have been teaching at the Harvard Business School for the past, sorry, my slide changed. Wait a minute. She says, I've been teaching at the Harvard Business School for the past 25 years. The managers which we have produced have done more damage to this world than serial killers, terrorist organizations. I'm not saying this man, gentlemen and women. Shoshana Zuboff, who has been teaching in the Harvard Business School for the past 25 years, she said that the managers which we produced, they did such a colossal damage to this world, which is not done by serial killers and terrorist organizations. Because in their business dealings, they went for cheating and lying. They went for bribery. They used all ill means to make money. They were not ethical, and we did not teach them, and that was our responsibility. So my dear students, that's coming back to the case that we need to learn how to talk, manners, behavior, respect. When I was studying at LUMS and in the MBA program, we used to call our teachers by name. So one of our teachers was called Jam. So they encouraged, even the teachers encouraged to call them with their abbreviations, Jam, Zik, Zafar Iqbal Qureshi, Jamshed, AIR, Arif Iqbal Rana. So they were old people and I was amazed. I was disturbed. I was at the age of 35. I said, hey, what's happening here? This is Pakistan. This is not United States. We respect people and teachers and young men and women. Why are they calling with their abbreviations? And you know, the young men told me, Shahid, you are an old man, sir. We are OA level graduates. You can say, you can even call your dad like this. I said, hey, I was raised in the US in 70s and I didn't see that there. I don't know, so much things have changed. So you know what happened, my dear students? When I went to Germany 10 years later from a PhD, I came to know that in Germany, when you call an older man, we call him with this word Sie. Wie heißen Sie? what is your name, aapka naam kya hai in Urdu. And when you call a young boy, old younger, we highs do, what is your name, tumhara kya naam hai. This difference, aap or tum, small and big, this cultural difference is almost in all languages except English. वो ऐसी बदतमीज जुबान है. और उस वक्त मुझे my secretary told me, Shahid, be careful. Whenever you talk to your professor, you have to call him with the Z, word Z. I said, oh, I'm Ilham's graduate. We don't care about that. We talk about jam and zik and here. He said, no, this is our core norm. So मेरे प्यारे दाऊद साहब, हमें उस वक्त, then I came to know that our own grandfathers and my mother and father, they always taught me to respect even our own driver, our own plumber, technician, our own servants. We have to call them with respect. And this educational institute is teaching me something which is not culturally. So my dear students, coming back to the case, we have 35 minutes left. And what happened was, during the conversations, during those telephone calls, during those telephone calls, he kept on refining his telephone call. Niels kept on refining his telephone calls, and eventually he said one telephone call, he was Sakata. Sakata was a Japanese who spent his childhood in Finland. And that network triggered, and he said, look, sir, I'm Niels from Sweden, and I have a great opportunity to share to you, sir. There's a great tourism opportunity, which I saw Japanese coming to Alaska. Sakata, if we work together, we can really do a great business. And he said, hey, you're from Sweden. I spent my childhood in Finland. So that network, my friends and students, worked and triggered. Sakata agrees to come to Sweden, and he flies from Sweden. He goes to Sweden. He sees the places and he says, wow, wunderbar. In German, we say wunderbar. Zabardast in Urdu. He says Zabardast. And he brings 2-3 people along next time, and Niels gives them personal touch, personal hospitality. And in 3-4 years, like 10-15 people visit from Japan. And after 3-4 years, when Niels felt that he has good network here in different parts of Japan, he comes to Japan. He visits there, and he meets a lot of people, and during this tour, he visits north of Japan, Hokkaido. It's winter here. There's a winter festival going on. He goes there. He stays in a hotel, and during the breakfast, he asks the waiter, can you please connect me with some great sculptors who are making sculptures? On a cup of coffee, he meets a leading sculpturist and says, sir, man, I'm trying to find you for the past many years. I heard about you, and I know you have many fans. Ma'am, I have something to offer you. Why don't you do this cultural exhibition in Sweden? It is more pristine. It is more environment friendly. It is something very new. And what would be the answer? Osama Tariq Saab, what would be the answer of that sculpturist? क्या कहा होगा उसने? Mikhail, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Mikhail, would she agree with this proposal?
So could you repeat it? Your voice was a bit distorted.
जी. चलें आप सुने. Samin Naveed, what was Alian Bandale? Alian.
Yes, sir.
जी.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
बेटा आपकी मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी?
सर थोड़ा वो डिस्टॉर्ट हो रहा है, वीडियो भी इसलिए
हाँ
ऑफ
जी,
है।
आवाज आ रही मेरी जनाब जरीश, वैसे आवाज आ रही सही?
जी सर, आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है। इट्स ऑल परफेक्ट
सही
सर।
आ रही है।
सही आ रही है जरीश?
जी सर सही आ रही है बिल्कुल।
बच्चे मैंने क्विज ले लेने, फिर इसका मतलब आप इधर उधर या गेम खेल रहे हैं या कुछ और का हरकत कर रहे हैं। 3 लोगों
मैं
से
स्टूडेंट्स को मार्क कर रही हूँ सीपी के लिए, सो जो रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहे हैं और जो
बेटा जो रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करेंगे ना तो वो ये वैसे तो you could have seen this video before, it would have been very easy. It's a disrespect actually. So I'm saying that he comes here, we don't have enough spare time to talk and keep on talking and nobody's listening. If you don't want to listen, then you can leave the course. You should not do it as it's your free will. You have joined this course. I haven't pushed you. आपको चेन तो नहीं किया है ना, रस्सियों से तो नहीं बांध कर लाए, खींच कर मिकाइल बांध कर लाए कि यार कोर्स कर लो भाई। हम तो रस्सियों से बांध कर नहीं लाए आपको। तो ये इसमें हमारे साथ मजाक मत करें प्लीज। डोंट जोक विद अस एंड डोंट प्ले विद द सिस्टम। एंड you see this course, I tell you the worth of this course is $10,000. मजाक नहीं है ये। आपने 35,000 फीस देकर समझ रहे हैं कि हमने आसान कर लिया है। ये $10,000 के इक्विवेलेंट एफर्ट हो रही है। I just got I did the same course in $10,000 from Boston. And how many Americans and faculty members are coming and teach? Mariam Abbas, are you here? Are you listening? Alian Badale, apna camera on कीजिए please. I just received an invitation from Boston. उन्होंने कहा they know me, वो मुझे इनवाइट करते हैं, कहने लगे डॉक्टर शाहिद जी आपको 10 आवर्स का कोर्स आपको लाजमी अटेंड करना चाहिए। तो मैंने कहा यार पैसे कितने लोगे? You know, $1,380. $1,380 को 160 से मल्टीप्लाई करके मुझे बताए कितने पैसे बन रहे हैं रुपीस। तकरीबन 2,60,000 बन रहे हैं तकरीबन। 10 घंटे का कोर्स है मिकाइल साहब। And I tell you, and I can challenge you inshallah, that this course will be more than in what they are teaching in 10 hours. We're spending like 50 hours. It's a whole MBA, man. So my dear students, once again, what happened was, so when he goes to Hokkaido, he meets Miho Oki. यहाँ पर एक है, meeting with Miho Oki. He approached through a waiter and Miho Oki Sahaba. Meeting with Miho Oki. He meets her and approached her to a waitress and convinces her to visit Sweden. Ma'am, why don't you convince your sculpturists to join us in Sweden? She said, let me talk to my other colleagues. She talks to other colleagues. And Niels was showing the pictures of Japanese visiting him for the past 3-4 years. Look, ma'am, these people came to me. I showed them this. Look at our mountains, look at the snow, and look at the river Karuna. Ooh, you can do exhibition here. And so they were convinced. November 1989, 14 artists came to that place and they worked on the weekend. They made these sculptures, and that was the beginning of a new story. Like 15 Japanese come there and 100 other people come. This gets popularity, this gets word of mouth, this event becomes popular. And next year people come. When next year they plan the same thing, they come up with an idea to make igloos. Igloos. So while they're making sculptures outside, they make an igloo. And while they finish work late night, as they were going to their hotel, some people said to Niels, we have our sleeping bags with us. Why don't we try to have a sleep here? Let's have a sleep here. So during that night, they tried and experimented and had a sleep there. And when they got up in the morning, they had a new idea. Isha, what would be the idea? Kya idea aaya hoga? Nazrin?
That they should exhibit their sculptures in that igloo.
Okay, very good. Any other idea? Nazrin?
Sir, they can turn this into a hotel.
Hotel! They came up with the idea to make a nice hotel. And the question is, where do ideas come from? Where do ideas come from? Arey batao, kahan se aate hain ideas? Ideas fly in.
Through observation, sir.
Observations, chance, serendipity, luck, prayers of your dad and mom, reading a book, observation, getting a telephone call. One never knows. We don't have a definite answer. We don't have a definite answer. Why? She opened the book and she found the recipe. Wow. They slept there and they found, wow. So one never knows. And what happened? They started making a nice hotel. In the next 3 years, they kept on experimenting with the igloos. Ice bed, ice hotel, bringing ice out from the river. And you see, eventually, look at this ice hotel, Sweden, ice hotel, Jukas Jarvi. And what happened next? They got a nice church there. Ice church was built. Tourists started coming in. Why are they making an ice church? Furqan Bhatti, IBA. Why ice church?
Yes, sir.
Why
The ice church? Because there might be some Christians coming over. Because it's a Christian state.
There's another answer to this. Aina from Bangkok. Do you know why did they make a church in Iceland, in that place? Aina?
Sir, may I?
This is Aina from Bangkok.
Yes, Aina.
Why do you think they made that church? Ice church.
I had the similar idea as the previous student that just answered now.
Okay.
That there's some Christian people coming there.
Okay. Aina, A-I-N-A, Aina. Aina.
Aina.
There's another lady from Namibia. Aina from Namibia. Aina,
Yes.
you're there?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay. So, great. So you gave the answer. Okay, already. Thank you very much. And so we had another person, our guest from George. George was there. George is here. Faisal bin Badar, do you have an idea why did they make the church?
So to expand the tourist base, because all the Europe and Eastern Europe, they can invite those religious minded people to this place as another place to worship.
There's something more to that actually. There's something more.
Sir, can I answer?
People get married in churches, so this can be another thing.
Exactly. That became a marriage destination.
Yes, sir.
That became a marriage destination because the $1 million people, if for example, Nazarene is a $1 million lady and she says that, hey, gentlemen, where do I spend money? So she says that, oh, and these ice hotel people will say, Nazarene, you are $1 million lady. You should celebrate your marriage here in a special ice hotel, in a special room made over River Karuna. This will be a special room made for you. So Faisal bin Badar Sahab, rich people would like to do these things. No? So it became a nice hotel. And you know what happened next? In Europe, they use the drink alcohol and they put ice inside. When Neil saw that, he said, hey, I have got another idea. And you know what that idea was? Anybody tell?
Ice
Make the
classes?
glass, make the
Making
glass
glass
out
of
of
ice.
ice.
Exactly. He said, let's make the ice glass. And you see, and it kept on happening. Look at the ice glasses here. These ice glasses are, there's a factory in Kiruna. And they manufacture and they export into Dubai, into Middle East, into Europe, in Berlin. And you know what people say? Usama Tariq Saab, people say कि हम तो रूह अफ़ज़ा पिएंगे, तो हम तो रिवर करूना के पानी की बर्फ के अंदर रूह अफ़ज़ा डालकर पिएंगे. So people, this is called branding, and they branded it such well that people are ready to pay for this ice glass for river karuna. And you know what happened? One day, he received a telephone call from this person. A telephone call from this person was received. You know this person? The business students? One of the richest person, top 15, 20, Richard Branson calls him and says, sir, I want an appointment. Sir, I want an appointment. Can I talk to you? And he said, sir, tell me please. He said, I want to go for space tourism. I'm working on rocket entrepreneurship, taking people into the space. I want to work with you and make this business together. Look at this height. So that is a quick picture of the hotel, and I will just summarize and look at the beds and look at the ice buildings and rooms. And so let's go back to this interesting case, and let me just quickly summarize what we learned in this case, and that is, I have to come back again. Just a minute, please. Okay, Bismillah. Great. So so my dear friends, let me just conclude. So Neil was born in Sweden. He did boating while he was young. He did mining. And then he did canoeing. And then he did start a boat business. He did a restaurant business as well for a few months. He went to Alaska.
Your screen is not showing, sir.
He went to Alaska, then he connected with Japan, then the ice sculpture thing, and then he went into ice hotel, ice class. So that is, if you look in the story, what is the common theme in the story? Can anybody share?
Sir, your screen is not showing up, sir. Screen. Screen showing you.
Okay. You can't see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can't see.
Okay, sorry, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी. Can you see the screen now?
जी सर अब आ गई.
Yes, sir.
जी आ गई. Yes, we can see now.
There is some problem with my Zoom actually. वो मसला हो गया इसमें. There's some problem with the Zoom. And एक छोटी window freeze हो गई. जी?
So can I, give a point?
Yes.
So what I believe is, sir, that he has kind of tried his best to innovate at every point where he thinks there was a hindrance, so he tried to, innovate and do a different thing from the whole market or the whole industry.
So in one word, in 2, 3 words, you can say innovation is the key in this story. Anybody else? Can somebody say in 2 to 3 words, what is the common learning in this story? What is the common theme coming out of this story? He's saying innovation. Anybody else?
Hard working.
So you don't have to,
Hard
you don't
work.
have to stick. You don't have to stick to one business or one idea. Okay, you just need to keep on
Loud,
saying
Dine, please loud. We can't hear that much. Yes.
So basically what I'm saying is, like, we just see in this whole story is that he keeps on trying new stuff, and he finds the best. and he finds the basic needs, and he evolves and he mixes them with some sort of an adventure, and then presents it to the world. So there's a value addition that he provides to everything. Even that church
Great.
thing, even when he made that glass oil thing, even when he called the Japanese to it, the Japanese were coming there.
The mic creep kare, mic, bring the mic close to your mouth, please.
Sir, is it clear now?
It's 70% clear. Still, we have to struggle to listen. Okay. Great, but still I listen to you. Anybody else? Anybody else? What are the key
Sir, can I speak?
Yes.
Sir, can I speak?
Yes.
Yeah, he generated new idea whenever he took a new step. Like he was generating new ideas whenever he was moving forward. Like he was connecting ideas. Like he started a canoeing business, and then the river froze up, so he took out this idea of sculptures. So, and at first he was working for a mining company, and he already knew canoeing and
okay,
rafting.
Great. So another question is that, oh, now my problem is resolved. Another question is that, can we plan this journey?
No, sir.
Can we plan this journey?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Hazik?
No, sir, we actually can't, because there are some unforeseen circumstances.
There's some
like,
or
for
many?
example,
You're saying there's some unforeseen or many?
There can be many. There can be some, like for example, when he started, you know, that sculpture thing. So there was a rainfall. There was a rainy day, and his whole sculpture, you know, it kind of was destroyed. So there are many obstacles, and there are many or some unforeseen circumstances that nobody can predict before time. So it's kind of it's your luck. If you're lucky enough to handle it, so that's the thing. But you should be, in my opinion, you should always be ready for these kind of things. You should have them in mind, that might be, you know, everything, sab kuch aapke hisab se nahi hota. You should be ready for anything.
What do we need to do to be ready? What do we mean by the word ready? What do we mean? Do a BBA? Will BBA or BBA social science make you ready?
No, sir. Basically, you mentioned before that the entrepreneurs take calculated risks. So before starting on, you should always have a, you know, thorough research on the industry you're going in, or whatever you're, you know, trying to pursue. So you should have a, you know,
It means while he was studying in engineering, bachelor's of engineering, he should have studied this research in ice sculpturing.
No, sir, but he should know the drawbacks. Like if he knew about the winning weather, so he might have, you know, come up with a solution for that too.
But sometimes it was not possible. Many times, sometimes they are not possible. So thank you very much, Hazik. The question was, can we plan this journey? Can Roxanne fully plan this? That she will get divorced, she will have 2 kids, she will get divorced, she will go into a jungle, she will find bird in the jungle, she will make candle, she will make a birdhouse, she will become $1 million. Could she plan this?
Can I add something, sir?
Yeah. Now,
sir, I believe that it's very hard to plan something like this, because these things happen by chance. When Niles started all of this, he was just canoeing and he was just having fun. He was doing whatever he liked. It all started with the idea that he can have a buddy with him that can get him free coffee every day. And with that idea, he saw opportunities and developed ideas, and through that, it evolved into this big model that ended up the road ended up in the ICE hotel. So it started with something that he liked, and through that, he found opportunities and got ideas that developed his model and idea further, and all the way going to the ICE hotel.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Very well articulated. So my point is, if things cannot be planned, why are our degrees, you know, our degrees in engineering, in management, in agriculture, all these universities are teaching how to plan. They're teaching something which is not going to happen. They're teaching some skills, which I agree, okay. But overall, they're trying to structure, they're trying to structure your thinking. They want to bring a structure to your thinking. They want to make it systematic. It is not systematic. The entrepreneurship theory says it is not systematic. So this is a great learning in this course, which we're trying to find out, that we have to learn two things. We need to learn how to plan. We need to learn how to unplan. So all of the MBA, BBA, accounting and finance, eco-math, all is about planning, taking assumptions, trying to predict the future. We will do this to some extent. We will do this to some extent, but this is very powerful. We'll do both. But maybe this is 30%, this is maybe 70%. I don't know the exact numbers, but it is different for everybody. But I know that this is more. This I know. This is more than this. This can be 80-20, 90-10. This can be 60-30. Even for Donald Trump, this will be more than this. This I know. So let's move on for the last 10 minutes. And we will be discussing a very interesting topic and that is the key of this course. That is the key of this course. And that is, I will start this session today, and then we can complete it tomorrow. And just a sorry minute, I'm not able to. Yes, I've got it. So my dear friends, you let me show you this picture. This is a lady, her name is Saras. Although she's of my same age, but I call her my teacher as well. She has done great wonders. She's from India, migrated and living in US, Virginia. She's a professor. And like 15 years ago, she said, hey, gentlemen, all the business schools of this world, all the business school teachers and professors and universities of the world, the thing which you are teaching is wrong. There's a problem with your teaching. There's a problem with your content. There's a problem with your degree. The thing which you are teaching, whether in Uzbekistan or Thailand or Bangkok or Nigeria, there's a problem. There's a problem. The people think that they're learning something good. So Sarah said, these Harvard people, the Harvard model. So I'll be using the term Harvard. The Harvard model teach people to think big. They make people to think big, BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goals, super goals. When you think something really big, when you start thinking,
all can hear or not?
Sir, we cannot hear you.
I cannot hear him either.
Disconnected.
Wait a
minute. Sir, we cannot hear you. I think, sir, disconnected.
Yes.
Just a minute, guys. He's coming. He got disconnected.
hello, sorry. Zarish, where did we left?
Sir, big hairy audacious goals.
अच्छा, okay. उससे पहले आवाज clear थी?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry. I thought that I thank you very much. Dayan Khan, was it understandable? Did you see what I talked about Saris model?
Yes, sir. You were telling about and then I lost you. And then
okay. So Saraswati came up with this model. that the Harvard people and these people, they are teaching to start with a given goal. They teach these young men and women across the world, hey gentlemen, make a big dream, make a big goal, follow those goals, and for big goals you need big resources or small resources, Dain?
Sir, you need big resources.
So
The
big
way
goals.
so the Harvard model ones, yes, they need big resources. So they'll tell you like you need to have an MNC, so you need to have like a $1 billion investment in that. So you just say, oh,
Exactly. So big goals, big resources, big resources, big means. Big means bigger strategy. Bigger strategy means costly people. Costly people means lot of dollars, lot of dollars, lot of dollars.
That means nothing.
And so this is what we teach in 4 years. This is what we teach in the towards MBA program. And Sarah said, hey, gentlemen, you are doing a gross misservice. You're doing a gross. This is called causation. This concept of teaching this way, please remember this terminology in this course called causation. Try to cause this. Arrange resources and try to cause this. This is not the Maiman way of doing things. She said, hey, gentlemen, this is a horse blind. Causation is a horse blind. Causation, causal thinking is not 100% wrong. I'm not saying 100% wrong. It is maybe we will use it maybe 30 to 40%. Maybe we will use it, but 100% causation is horse blind. And we teach you 100% almost. And she said, in opposite, there's another way of thinking. And she said, this way of thinking is more than 10,000 years old. Is not new. It was since ages. It was since human beings were living on this earth. This way of thinking was already there. The 1920s capitalism brought that causal thinking. This is called the effectual lens. Effectuation means create a small effect with whatever you have. Arif, okay. Arif sahab, aapki bijli chali gayi? Light is gone?
जी सर.
Oh, I'm sorry, aap garmi mein honge, and well, we have only 10 minutes. I wish you that things are good for you. So effectuation means create a small effect with whatever you have. And effectuation says that nobody in this world is poor. Every human being has something. So effectuation says that everybody has some means. Everybody has some means. Mean means who you are, what you know, whom you know. Even the poor of the poor can have $5. His eyes, his ears, his body, his mom, his dad, his neighbor, an old bicycle. Like in Hassan's case, you know what was his means? His old motorcycle. His old motorcycle. His friends, and 5,000 rupees pocket money. That's it. Arif, effectuation theory says that Hassan is a hero. The MBA theory will not recognize him a hero unless he makes million. The BBA theory will not recognize him a hero. Effectuation theory says $5 is enough to do something. Old motorcycle, bike, utensil is enough to do something. So once this theory says you start with whatever you have, and everybody has something, and when you start with it, you do experiments, various imaginations. Some of those imaginations will fail, some of them will succeed, you will fall, but these are so small. These experiments are so small that you have very less to lose. When you keep on doing that, you sharpen yourself, you develop your skills. and these help you to take bigger steps, and so on and so forth. So that was the contribution of Saraswati in the year 2000, and you know, she hit in the eyes of the business schools. पंजाबी में कहते हैं घुटनों पर मारना. अगर आपके दाइन साहब घुटने टखने पर गोली लगे, टखने पे, तो आदमी खड़ा हो सकता है?
नहीं सर, बंदा घुटनों के बल हो जाता है.
तो सारस्वती और हेनरी मिन्सबर्ग ने दुनिया भर की यूनिवर्सिटीज के घुटनों में गोली मार दी है, टखनों में. They are in trouble, I tell you. They are in trouble. ये लम्ज और आई भी 10-15 साल निकाल जाएंगे, लेकिन फिर भी मसला आ जाना है. मसला पूरी दुनिया में आ रहा है. It's not in Pakistan. It's a global challenge which is happening. Global thing is happening. Skills are coming, and skills are becoming more important. So, my dear friends, and I will be just finishing with this first. Yeah, have you seen this picture? Daud Saab, have you seen this? ये क्या है? What is this?
Manual gear.
Gear. So Saraswati said that gear number 1, 2, and 3, 4 is effectuation. Gear number 4 and 5 is causation. Saraswati said whenever you start a car, do you start a car? Your car is static. You want to move the car. Will you move your car in gear 4 from static to movement?
No, sir.
कौन सा gear use करेंगे?
First gear.
Shifa, do you drive cars?
No, I don't.
Tariq Usama Saab, in Faisalabad, do you start a car in gear 4 from your garage?
No, sir. From first gear.
Sir, Faisal Saab, in Australia, do people start the car in gear 4 or 5?
So business school still teaches the same, but the entrepreneurial way is not like that. The Saraswati way is, as you are telling, we need to.
So, my dear friends, if we can't start a car in gear 5, we start in gear 1, we reverse 1, 2, 3. So, if my people of Karachi, can you drive car in gear 5 at 100 km/h on Abul Hassan Isfani Road in front of IBA? Can you drive a car Sajwar at 110?
No, sir.
So where can we drive at 110?
Sir, on the highway.
On the motorway from Lahore to Islamabad. In Germany, there's no speed limit. So when to drive car in gear 4 and 5? We will drive our car in gear 4 and 5 when you are in the motorway. We will drive the car in gear 1, 2, 3 and reverse. We're in the city. But the point I'm trying to make is all the universities are trying to teach people who can only drive car in gear 4 and 5. Sayyid Muazzam Shah Sahab. सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज मिलके चौथे गियर में गाड़ी चलाना सिखाती हैं. The whole content, the faculty, the content, the mid, the exams are all designed to teach you how to drive a car in gear 4 and 5. Gear 4 and 5 in your cases, Unilever, P&G, Angro. So they're only preparing you to work for somebody who is driving his car is gear 4 and 5, who are established, who are settled down, who are certain revenue streams fixed. Nazarene, you are understanding what I'm saying? Is it difficult or easy to understand?
Actually, no, I don't understand. And I don't know that what is this picture, what is that?
Okay, this is, have you seen a car?
Yes, yes.
In the car, you have a gear 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you
in mechanic cars, yes.
In the car, when the car is slow, I put the car in gear 1, and then I move the car. And then when the car gets 20 kilometers per hour, I change to gear 2. When the car speed goes up, I go to gear 3. Maybe you have seen automatic cars. There are two types of cars, automatic cars, and then we have manual cars. I'm talking about the manual car.
Manual, okay. We
you-
call mechanical.
Romesa, you understand what I said?
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat for Nazanin? I'm tired.
Right.
Can you
So
summarize?
Yes, sir. So basically what he's trying to say is that usually in our university teachings, they start us from gears 4 and 5, but whenever we're driving a manual or mechanical car, as it's known in Azerbaijan, what we do is we start from gear 1, so the car does not get damaged, and we slowly increase the gears according to the speed we're driving at. And that is how we grow our business. And basically the first, the second, the third, and the reverse gears, because those are the basic fundamentals of our business. Those are effectual logic, and the causation, which is the predetermined decisions, that happens later on once we've actually started our business and once we have set our partnerships and such with the stakeholders.
MashaAllah, very well articulated. I couldn't do that. You did it better than me, MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Sir,
Thank
I
you
have
very
a
much.
question.
Ji.
Sir, so what if we actually learn how to drive in the 4th and 5th gear from the beginning? Wouldn't that help us get, a competitive edge?
Sorry, once again, a very interesting question coming up, please.
So what if we actually learn to drive in the 4th and 5th gear from the very beginning? Wouldn't that help us get a competitive edge?
My dear son, actually, you see things unfold in real life. So this concept of competitive advantage, I think it comes over a period of time. You can't be that smart, actually. Things unfold. You see, Niels never, he couldn't, he never, if he had not visited Alaska, he could not have knew those things. So many things, most of our life, 99% I would say, things are unfolding. Every other day, every week, every month. Faisal bin Badr, could we think of about COVID few months ago? Could we have thought about these things? So things are unfolding. So I think we can't be that smart. Human beings are humble. As a human being, we have a lot of limitations. Gee, Faisal, you want to say something?
No, the world has actually changed, and the project that I'm working on, that is online education, I quote it like that. That world is basically doing a crash course of learning how to learn online, how to do online education. So it's a crash course for globally. So it's a different perspective of looking at the things.
Great. So my dear students, tomorrow what we will do is, we will cover these 5 principles of effectuation, and we will try to understand these 5 principles. I will appreciate if you can see the videos. The first principle is bird in hand. I just take 2-3 minutes. The bird in hand says start with who you are, what you know, and whom you know. And the MBA and BBA, they all do opposite. The MBA, BBA, accounting and finance, all of these people, they do opposite to these Maimans, the entrepreneurs. And we will talk about tomorrow. So you are really, Shuhaira Sheikh, you will really be weeping, and by the end of this course that, oh my God, I spent 2 million, 2.5 million. You know how much money you spent? It's more than 2 million. You had to spend on your travel every day to come to IBA. You had to spend on your food. You had to spend on your cosmetics, and so on and so forth to look good at IBA. So we have to spend a lot of money, and that approaches 3 million, your opportunity cost. The second principle is affordable loss. Invest what you can afford to lose. Crazy quilt, build a network of self-selected partners. And you know what these people are doing? Competitive analysis, BBAs. Laminate principle, embrace and leverage surprises. The future comes from what people do. So these 5 principles, what we will do tomorrow is, so let me just quickly share what we will be doing tomorrow. Faisal bin Badr Sahab, is that we will be quickly show the screen. Just a minute. Azmi Sahab, is there any announcement?
Yeah, sir, I have some announcements. So when
Okay.
you finish,
So
I'll
tomorrow
do
what we will do is that we have done the Neil study case today. We have missed this video, Beaver video. I will take it tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll be doing effectuation theory. We will complete these 5 principles. And then we will be having a maze jaunt. We'll be having a resource cloud exercise. And what we have to do is that everybody in this course has to come up with an idea. Everybody in this course has to come up with an idea of a potential business idea which they can work on. It can be from your home, it can be with $5, $50, $100, pet shop, online coaching, mentoring, advisory, consulting. So you have to come up with an idea tomorrow. I think tomorrow we can spend like 30 minutes. We will do a speedboat exercise version 1. So we will be putting you in speedboats. So there's a virtual speedboat. You will be traveling in that tomorrow and exercise. I will put it here, speedboat exercise. I will explain tomorrow. So please start thinking something small which you can do. And tomorrow evening, we will be having Mr. Basit, who is the Guinness Book of World Record holder. He has 5 world records. He is the faster texter on smartphone. He can text. He has made that record. He is the fastest. He can reproduce the elements table in chemistry in 1 minute, maybe in few seconds. And if you give him a number, Basit, can you divide 17 by 9? Give any number. 17 divided by 19. He will start 0.0785. The calculator will fail. The laptop will fail. Tamur, he can go to 200 digits. 0.000 10 9 8 7 6 5. He can go to 10,000. He can go to 50,000 after point. So he will tell you that how can you learn that. So thank you. Over to Asghar Azmi and Zarish.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll be having a guest speaker in the morning as well. Behlol Ali Khan, he's a student of IBA. He has started his own business for meeting.pk. So he'll be there for 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'll be sending all the details for joining the session on WhatsApp group. So do check the WhatsApp group and see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. So I'm done with the announcement.
Okay, I have a few announcements. So we'll share resource material for tomorrow, basically the videos which you need to watch. Also, I've noticed that few of you haven't done your pre-readings for today's session. So please kindly don't do this because your CP get marked, and quiz is also based on the pre-readings. So there will be a quiz tomorrow as well, and there are only 5 videos which are related to these 5 effectuation theory principles. It's really interesting and you won't get bored while watching those. So please do watch that, and there will be a quiz and an assignment as well, which we will share today by 4, inshallah. So that's it, sir. Sir, you are mute actually.
Nazarene, I hope you understand now the principle effectuation. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So please look at the videos. Sayyid Muhammad, Toma, and all of you, wish you a great day. May God bless all of you. And I'm thankful to Sayyid Muhammad for his very beautiful haircut, I think, or I don't know, is it a haircut, Muhammad, Sayyid?
Tied my hair back.
MashaAllah. So congratulations, and I appreciate and salute you. So you will get extra points for that actually in the course. You'll get extra points.
So I have sent the videos as well to the all students.
Okay. So thank you very much, Aliyan, Asan, Shifa, Rutba, Shuera, and all Asan, Romesa, Very good comments today. Appreciate Isha, Huda, Dawood, and Misam, Usama, Tariq, Faisalabad. Usama Saab, Abu ko salam kahe hamara janab. Thank you very much for joining. Christopher, great Christopher. I hope you enjoyed. Christopher, can you switch on your mic for a minute? Great Christopher. So we had great Alexander and we came to know great Christopher. Mohsin Devjani, thank you. Tahir for joining us today. We have Taimur, Toyma Timiti, Yusuf